So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the.
Good evening, you guys. Howdy from Texas. Welcome back, Mediocre Trader. It's been a while, my friend. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Doing swell.
Yeah. Got a little bit of snow up here, but it's nice.
Where are you? I don't even know what state you live in. Where are you joining us from?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Oh, so you're up Massalorian's way.
Oh yeah, yep.
I tried to reach out to him today and couldn't get a hold of him, but I'm glad you were available. We got a lot of interesting topics to talk about tonight. A lot of good momentum trades that everybody's been participating in. People are making money hand over fist in the Discord today, and I got a lot of tweets and DMs and messages and in the YouTube comments also. So we're going to just recap those plays and where I'm at on those. I want to hear what you've been trading, and I guess there's probably a couple of people that want an AMC update. So I'll let you cover that.
Sounds good to me.
And then I don't know how long you can hang out, but I usually just once I cover the couple topics that I have, we just take open questions, whatever anyone wants to ask.
Yeah, I got time. We ain't doing too much over here. Just hanging out. You know, I was in my Discord all day, just hanging out. So we're good. We're in good shape. I can hang for a while.
All right. I don't think I went to sleep till about 1:30 or 2 last night, and then I was up at 5 a.m. because I had those trades going overnight, and I knew they were probably going to run a little bit in pre-market. So it's been a long day. It's been a long day. No naps.
I hear that. Sometimes you gotta check them in the morning and get in the pre-market so you can get out. Or you know, I always check if I'm in a trade overnight. I check. I gotta be honest.
All right. So do you want to cover AMC first? I can put the chart up.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then we'll get into these squeeze plays.
Let me see what screen I want to share. This one right here. All right.
Oh yeah, you go ahead and throw your screen up. That'll be easier than that way you can control the mouse.
Yeah. Let me get it right here.
Sergeant Beef, what's up? Shin Kyoku, Karen. I saw Devinder in here Devindavasher looking for you in here last night, Karen. Blazin, what's up, amigo? Juicy, I see you. Maggie, good evening. Six Son, what's up? John's Touchpad, MD, good evening to you. Take us away whenever you're ready, Mediocre.
Yeah, I can't see the other screen right now. I mean, today was a good day. Here we are. This is today right here. We're still green in the after hour right now. This is the 4-hour chart for anybody, and right now we're still above the 200, and we rose up a little bit. I know they pushed us down a little towards the end of the day, but we held this 200. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, we're sitting right on top of the 13 EMA right here, so we're staying in bullish territory. So we'll see what happens. We're still in kind of uptrend here, and I'm happy with that. But more importantly, we'll talk about this real quick. So what I like. I like to trade kind of traditional, and so I use moving averages. Like here's the 200, okay, and it's sitting at $10.95. So this weekend when I was live with Super Steven and Ant's Trades, it closed Friday. It was at $11. So this morning when it opened up, we lost 6 cents. It was actually at $10.94. This 200 moving average is going to continue to drop every day as long as this stock price is below it. And the longer we stay down, the quicker this is going to move down here, and eventually we're going to cross up here. So when we make this cross on this 200 here, the stock price gets above that, we're going to have a move to the upside. I mean, that's the easiest way I could say it. And I'm not going to tell you it's going to the moon or this or that. When a stock price is above the 200 on a daily chart, the stock is in an uptrend. And anybody can Google that and look that up for themselves. And, that's pretty much it. So right now we're still in bullish territory. The MACD's looking good. We're crossing on the MACD down here. The RSI's, above water, looking good. I mean, we're in great shape. It is what it is. We just keep fighting it every day and whatever. I'm happy with my position. That's all I got to say about that.
I can't see because I have my restream window smaller. Is that a daily or hourly chart?
No, this is daily here.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, we're sitting right at the 50-day moving average, basically. We're on top of the 50, we're below the 50, we're just kind of bouncing, but so I think we're going to move up tomorrow. We moved up and they pushed us down, so it is what it is. We'll move back up. It's not like they're hammering the stock like they were. I don't see that happening. They kind of cut back on that a little bit. Not to say that they won't start again, but and I'll let Casey Shaw handle all his numbers and stuff. That's his forte, and that's just what I got to share today.
What are your thoughts on why the price is being propped up? Is it because of the volatility, not knowing what's coming up with the vote, or do you think it's because the strength of Avatar and the bunch of movies that are coming out here in the next 2 to 4 weeks?
I mean, I think it hit this low down here, and they couldn't get it any lower. That's what I think. But Avatar could be helping it. I think maybe we got some institutions starting to buy in. Maybe I don't really know that to be sure, but something's going on because the price did move up from this low of 377. So, I mean, something's going on. Whether it's Avatar, Avatar's making great numbers, huge numbers. I mean, Super Steven puts out the movie stuff. He does a great job with that, and Avatar's still over 50%, I think, making income from what the last time I had a conversation with him. So, I mean, that's big.
50% of what?
Like, they usually lose 50% after the first weekend.
The drop off.
Yeah, the drop off. It's still above 50%, where others are at 25%.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish up. And then
I was just gonna say, people are still watching Avatar.
Yeah. What someone's asking in the chat, what price is the 200 on your chart there right now?
$10.95.
All right. And as you were saying, as long as we're below it, that red line is going to keep trending down.
Correct.
So you're looking for the cross. If
I'm looking for the stock price to get above the 200. And so even if they push the stock price down, let's say, just for the sake of argument, they drive the price back down to $3. This 200 is still going to continue to drop. So eventually when you get bullish, it's going to be a lot easier to get above it. I just don't see that happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. You want to throw APE up there for a second?
Sure. I don't really look at APE too much, to be honest.
AMC was up about 2% today. APE was actually up over 5%.
Yeah, see that? I'm not sure why I have this line here, to be honest, but I put that up for some reason. I don't know. I'm going to leave it and hopefully I can remember later. But no, I mean, I think APE's going to continue to move up. As long as AMC's moving up, I think APE is going to trail it a little bit. I don't know if they'll ever truly get equal, but if one's moving up, I think the other one's going to move up, especially after what Adam Aaron said. Actually, Whimsy Chick had an interview with him or whatever at the theater.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I don't know if they'll get equal either, because the float on APE is twice the float on AMC.
Right. So but I'm not sure how that's actually going to work, but I believe if AMC is climbing, Ape is going to climb with it. I don't know, not sure the distance or whatever, but
It should. Yep.
so
And I'm
that's
I'm still I'm still looking for the gap between them to close a little bit more. So I was happy
so
to
am I.
see Ape up 5%, relative to AMC being up 2.
Yeah. I have my own beliefs about Ape that I don't really want to talk about tonight.
Okay. Why don't you throw the GameStop chart up there, and then we'll move into these the new CEO group and these naked short stocks.
GameStop had a move today.
It did have a good move today.
Yeah, it did. It got above the 50-day moving average.
So on no news, it was up 10.5%. That's a huge
I don't
move.
really follow GameStop, but that's a good move. It's above the 50-day moving average right there. So if it can hold that and stay bullish in this MACD, we're talking. I'm on a daily time frame, just so everybody knows. Like, I didn't look at any time frames previous, but it looks like the MACD is heading up, and it's about to go above water here. So, it looks good.
So if we don't get any torpedoes in the market, things right now are looking pretty good.
That's what it looks like to me. Yep.
All right. You guys got any other questions? Right. Oh, other thing I wanted to say on AMC, we are now past the 30-day statutory waiting period for the Antara deal. So I know a lot of you are wanting to know, when are we going to see a proxy statement? Now we're just we're waiting to see when do they actually get the green light from the FTC on that second tranche. Yesterday was the minimum amount of days, so it might take a little bit longer, or we might hear something this week. It just really depends on the FTC giving AMC and Antara the green light for that deal. So keep your alert set for news. Could come at any time now. I can't tell you exactly when. Sometime between now and March 22nd. But we made it through the 30 days.
Things are looking good since that announcement. I'm happy with that. Things were looking horrendous for a while.
And it seems like, I don't know if it seems like a little bit that the emotions have calmed down a little bit. Hopefully everybody's willing just to wait and see the proxy statement, and then we see what we got. Then we can decide if we really got something to be mad about.
I must say something I was going to keep to myself.
Come on. It's my channel. Just say it.
All right. So I think part of Ape's problem was retail selling.
Of course.
And that's what I'm going to say. So, all the blame cannot be put on Adam Aaron. We have to take some responsibility for not understanding what was going on in retail selling. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to make a big deal about it, but that's my thought.
There's a lot of people selling. Institutions, I think, were selling because they don't need to hold it for ETFs like they do with AMC.
Yeah.
And retail got scared out of it by a lot of influencers. So, and I'm going to say maybe rightly so, because it was a dilution instrument, and some of us underestimated how quickly retail would sell. So if they got out early, they made a better decision than I did.
I got a question for you, Tony, though.
Yeah.
Weren't we asking for an NFT so that we can make money, have retail pay down the debt through it?
Some people were. They've been asking for a lot of different things. Yeah.
Don't you think that's what Ape was in the end?
No. Ape took value away from AMC.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. I think that we shouldn't have been selling off Ape. He told us it was preferred and we should have held it. I don't know, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, everybody's got to make up their own mind. They did what they did. It's water under the bridge now. Adam even realized he realized it didn't work, and he's trying to do plan B now. So Otherwise, what? We're going to be stuck with APE till it gets sold off to 25 cents.
No, I agree with you. I think that that's water under the bridge now. There's none you could do. We have to do what we need to do. You know, I don't want to rush the vote, but you know, I'm not gonna shoot myself in the foot. I'll say that. How's that?
Yep. All right. Let's move through a couple of other topics real quick. I want to talk about, what do I want to talk about first? Let's do Next Bridge Hydrocarbons, because this will be quick, guys. I am not the resource for Next Bridge Hydrocarbons, which previously was MMTLP. You guys know I have done a fair amount of due diligence on it since it really started taking off back in the latter half of last year. And I never held the stock, but people were asking me about it. So, you know, what to do? It's running up from $1 to $10-12. What should we do? So I did my DD on it, you know, a justifiable amount of time for a stock that I didn't ever plan to buy. And one thing that I saw back at the end of last year in the Next Bridge S1, from all the way going back to July of last year, we knew that MMTLP was going to go private and you'd get Next Bridge shares. And one thing that stuck out to me as I was reading through this entire document, oh man, there's a lot. There is a paragraph in here. Let me see if I can find it, that basically says this company, after they go private, is not going to have enough money and they're going to need to do dilution. And so I have been calling that out for months. And today the dilution notice got dropped.
Yeah.
Yes, the press release. Actually, sorry, this is the press release. This is the press release from today. I thought I had the July one up, but if you go look in the July document, in the risks and warnings section, about halfway through the document, it says we're not a well-capitalized company. We're going to have to either take on more debt or issue more equity. Today, that official drop came. The only reason I'm mentioning it is just for awareness, because I saw a lot of people on Twitter like, what the hell is this? What do you mean dilution? How can they dilute us as a private company? Why are they doing that? They're just screwing us over. I just, in the nicest way possible, I'm going to encourage people to always read every filing. And if you aren't, or you don't want to, find a channel like mine where I enjoy doing that stuff. If you're planning on holding the stock, look, if you're momentum trading, you can do whatever you want. You don't need to read every filing. But a lot of people were planning to hold this all the way through. It would have been important to know, I think, that once you got your private shares of Next Bridge, that they were going to dilute and water down the value of your shares.
Tony.
Yes.
I know a couple people who are who bought into MMTLP, and they're stuck, and they didn't they never got. I guess they're supposed to merge with Northbridge, and that never happened, or whatever happened. They stopped something. I don't know, because I didn't really follow that stock, but there's a whole mess going on with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, MMTLP stopped trading, and if you were still holding shares, it was a mess, the whole stop trading. We don't need to recap all that. I know what happened. But at the end of the day, if you were stuck with Next Bridge shares, either by accident or by design, and there were both, there were some people that thought they would get out, and FINRA pulled a fast one. And so some got stuck with it by accident. At the end of the day, once it stopped trading, they were supposed to issue you shares of Next Bridge, and that is a private, non-tradable company. So that's what, and then there's this whole delay of getting the shares to people. That's what they're really mad about right now.
And then they're going to dilute it on top of it. That's crazy, man.
Now,
you can't make this stuff up.
In fairness, there is a chance also disclosed in all the filings from last year that Next Bridge may one day do a IPO and your shares will be publicly tradable. So, I mean, at this point, it's hard to say. Some people are thinking that they might be able to get their broker or someone to sell their private shares. That's not my area of expertise. I'll leave that to the people that are living and breathing MMTLP. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes.
Yeah. I don't know nothing about it, and I just know that I know a few people that happen to. But I don't trade stocks like that. I try not to.
Since tonight's topic is kind of dilution, and this one dropped on us today with Next Bridge, and I saw a lot of people that were just blown away that they didn't know this was a possibility. It was a possibility, and I've been saying since late last year that you need to be aware of that as you're making a decision to sell it at 10 or 12 bucks or right after that, or hold it. If you hold it, I just wanted you to know all of the things that could happen to dilute the value of what you're holding. I see Robert says he still doesn't have his shares. Golly, it is a mess.
That is a big mess that I don't want no part of. I'm glad it ain't me.
All right, let's move into the next topic. Now, as we've been trading Genius and Helbiz the past couple of days, we've been looking at all of these other companies that are in what we call the Naked Short CEO Club. And I watched a pretty interesting interview with John Berta and Jeremy Frommer, and I forget the other gentleman's name that was live today.
Yeah, I heard about it.
I've been digging into these companies, partly because I'm trading them and partly because this whole naked shorting market manipulation thing fascinates me. And I really want to know, are they going to make progress, or are they all collectively, maybe not collusion,
pumping?
But are they collectively setting retail up for their own benefit? I'm on the fence about that. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah. I haven't followed any of it, to be honest.
Have you not been trading any of those? Did you trade Genius or Helbiz?
I did trade Genius. I did, but only because it was a momentum play. Like I knew nothing about it other than it came up on my radar, and I watched it. I didn't get in right away. I watched it, and another guy in my Discord, Gus, nice guy, we were talking about it, and we got in early after close, and watched it pump up, and it pumped all the way up to, I don't know, $5 or something. I'm not sure where it went to in the after hours. I can't really remember, but I was up early the next morning to protect my position,
Yep.
So, and I got that document that you had before that, but I was like, I wonder if they can. I was hoping the FOMO would push through that, so I held. So you got out at a better spot than I did, to be honest. But I got out and made money, no doubt.
That is good to hear. We had a lot of people in the Discord and following the live streams that made a lot of money on this play. I got out in pre-market right here on the 20th. Was that the 20th? At $5. It ran up to $5.40 on the tall wick. And then we talked about it over the weekend, uncertain whether it would keep going or not. But as I said in the past two live streams, if retail still likes this stock, they absolutely could move it. And about midway day today, that indeed happened. It ran all the way up to 620, 628. So if you held all the way through this, you're the real G. And I don't know where it's going from here, but the volume tapered off a little bit at the end of the day. This is, and it was flat in after hours, closing at 472, it looks like. So not in a bad spot.
Show the daily chart on that if you could.
All right, the daily.
Yeah, it's going to look kind of funny.
Yeah.
See that green candle? See the wick on the top of that green candle?
Yeah, that it's setting up what we call the needle of death.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that phrase?
Yes. Yeah. That's a no bueno.
We'll know tomorrow, but guys, when you see this, you guys have heard me talk about the needle of death pattern and Super Steven also. We won't know until we see what tomorrow's candle looks like, but it is showing more signs of potentially topping out. Too early to call because we need one more candle. But if it's trading down tomorrow, it's going to fulfill that pattern.
After the first day, I was nervous. So I'm not going to lie. So I would be careful. I'll say that.
But again, congrats if you made money on that. A lot of us did. I've one guy messaged me. He made so much money he went out and bought a shed the next day. And sheds aren't cheap.
No, they're not.
So what was I going to say about Genius? Let's move into what the next topic I was going to talk about in this vein. All of these companies, you're seeing them put out press releases. We're joining the bandwagon. We're going to expose naked shorts. We want to get on this train too. And we were talking about some of those other potential plays for tomorrow and later this week. And one of them that I put in the Discord early this afternoon that we needed to look into was Verb, VERB. And then coincidentally, I saw my friend up in New York, or where is he living now? Dominican Republic. He put out a video on Verb, and it is literally one of the first videos that he's put out where I agreed with him, because he was saying some of the same things that I've been saying for the past 4 or 5 days. Like, what if there's no naked shorts? What if these CEOs are just using you to pump up liquidity and get debt holders convertible notes and warrants sold into the market? And we're going to talk about that here in the next couple minutes. Verb today, after putting out a press release, what was it, yesterday, that they're on board with retail to expose naked shorts. Today, after the market closes, let me put up the chart for Verb. It got a little run up on that press release that they're joining the bandwagon. It ran from 22 cents to 57 cents. And then what does he do after this run up? He did CEO Handbook Chapter 1. If you've got a shelf offering open and you got shares available and your price runs up, sell those fucking shares. That's CEO Handbook Chapter 1. So they get this press release here. Let me get back on the right screen. They said a press release today, they're going to sell some shares based off a shelf offering they had from March, April of 2022, which is $100 million worth was in that shelf. And this stock's trading at 38 cents. You guys can do the math. How many shares that could potentially, I haven't gone back and looked in the last year how many they've sold. But what happened when he put out that press release? At least he put out a press release. You're going to be even more shocked at the next one, mediocre. This guy put out this company puts out the press release and it tanks 23%. So why do I spend the extra time that some channels don't, talking about due diligence, talking about understanding if there's convertibles or warrants or shelf offerings, not to talk anybody out of a momentum trade, but to encourage you to take profits. If you know that those are on the table, you get a 23% drop with no warning. And I don't want to see that happen to people. So
yeah,
he had the shelf, the CEO of Verb, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, one day after saying he's on board, he dumps announces he's going to dump a bunch of shares.
I mean, it's crazy. I try to avoid those stocks for that reason, right? Because you never know. You never know what's going on with those penny stocks. It's there's a lot of them, but I mean, I do trade some, but the chart has to let me trade it. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
If it's not there, I don't want to touch it. If it's too much risk, but I want to keep my money. I'm not gonna lie. I want my money.
Let's talk about Created for a second. Mr. Jeremy Frommer, I believe, is the CEO. And CRTD. This one's been not as much of a momentum trade, but it is getting interest because he's kind of leading the charge in social media. And I'm glad these guys are doing this, guys. Don't mistake anything that I'm saying. If they are legit trying to expose naked shorts and we legit get some public disclosure, like tell us what you got. If we legit get that, I love it. I love seeing these guys band together to do that. What I don't like is in the back of my mind, the devil on my other shoulder saying they're probably just using retail to do some offerings and take advantage of your FOMO pump, the retail money, to raise more money on a stock run up. And as I was looking, as I do on all these plays every day for press releases and stuff, there's nothing on CRTD, not in the press that I could find. But you know what I did find in the past 10 days?
What'd you find, Tony?
Thank you for that setup. I found here's the
Tony. I try.
Here's the Verb Form S3 that got filed today. Here's what I found on CRTD. An offering on January 10th for 11 million shares, and another one on January 20th for another 9 million shares. And I don't know how they can get these forms with the SEC and not do a press release on their website, and no financial press picks it up either.
I don't know. What's the SEC doing?
Well, I mean, they fulfilled their obligations to file the forms with the SEC, but where's the press release? That's my question. Why aren't they telling shareholders? They're spending all this time holding Zoom calls. They can't get a press release out and let people know that the float is going to go up.
No, I understand that. And if they don't, what's the SEC going to do about it if they don't release that? That's the other problem. I mean, there's kind of, in my opinion, there's two problems. The SEC has a problem because I don't think they do enough. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep. I don't know what you're showing on your trading platform there, but I'm showing on Webull, the screen that I have up here, that the float, what are you showing for the free float of CRTD? Mine says 27 million.
CR what?
CRTD.
TD?
Charlie Romeo Tango Delta.
Yeah, got it. All right, hold on. Let me go in here and see if I can't find it in this tab here. Let me just Google it because I can't find it in my chart there.
I just want verification from one other platform before I show this screenshot here.
Here we go. One sec. I got 6 million.
6 million. That's really low.
What?
That's
on FinViz CRTD, right?
Yeah. Wow.
No, hold on. That's CRT. Hold on. Where's CRTD? I put it in there. Go. Now you're showing up on FinViz. CRTD.
All right. Well, suffice to say, my platform that I have here is saying it is 27 million, and I'm sure a lot of people are thinking that it's 27 million. In fact, the reason I started digging into this is we were trying to figure out if there was a potential deal buying this stock cheap at 77 cents, because GTII just made $100 million offer for CRTD, a proposal to acquire the company. And if there's only 27 million shares, we were wondering, all right, why is the price only 77 cents if there's only 27 million shares? And so I told the guys, I need some time to figure this out, because something doesn't smell right. The price should have gone up based on $100 million buyout. And here's what I came up with. Put this screen up. They have been diluting, and the systems, the data systems that report to the brokers have not updated yet. This is from the most recent filing on the 20th. The float of CRTD right now is actually 39 million shares, not 27 million. And with this additional new offering that they just put out and didn't do a press release on, it's going to go to 48 million shares. So a couple problems I have here. Where's the press releases? Why isn't the CEO talking about this? And this is confirming this trend of these CEOs shouting from the one hand, we got all these naked shorts, but on the other hand, issuing millions and millions and tens of millions of shares, selling them into retail. Retail just soaking them up like a sponge. And are you being used?
Yep.
I mean, that's a possibility I want you guys to consider. If they're so worried about naked shorts, why are they handing them tens of millions of shares into the float? Because CEO Handbook Chapter 1, if there's a run up and you got shares available, sell them. So they're taking advantage. They're taking advantage of the moment. And that is my best guess also why Created is not skyrocketing based on the GTII offer, other than, the secondary fact that it's just a letter of intent right now. I think, they've got a 30 days to do due diligence, and I don't think it's like hammered in stone. And then they still got to get SEC approval, if I'm not mistaken, and probably shareholder approval too, not necessarily in that order. So
dilution is always bad, period.
We went through this the other night, these penny stocks that already have really, really bad financials, and they're either on the pink sheets or they have delisting notices. They're doing reverse splits and all this nonsense. And then they're doing dilution on top of it. I just think there is a chance, just a chance, that some of these CEOs see an opportunity to punch a hot button with retail and issue dilution, get some debt off their balance sheet by letting the bondholders convert debt to equity, and get some warrant liabilities off the financials too. But who pays the price? The retail holders. Long story, if you're just trading it for momentum, if you're in and out in a day, you don't need to worry about all that stuff. Right? Can we agree on that?
Oh yeah, I mean, if there's a run up and you could catch the run up and get an exit, you're good to go.
Yeah,
But you know,
but for the
if you need,
people who are going to be holding it, oh, this is the best company ever, I'm going to hold it forever. If you see a sick drop, 23, 40, 50% in a day, it'll come back. It's probably related to some of these due diligence things that I'm looking at. So I just kind of throw this out there so you guys know where I'm coming from to gauge when I get in and when I get out of the plays, and why I don't hold all of these little penny stocks for the moon.
I mean, you guys got to take your financial future in your own hands, right? But you do it in a smart way. You know, just got to watch what you're doing. I try not to play those kind of stocks because I think they're too risky. But I play risky stuff every day. I play the SPY every day. So.
Oh yeah, you like to live dangerously.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's put Helbiz up real quick. I'll just let you guys know, just a refresher. I bought Helbiz on Friday at that midday dip in the low 20s. And so I sold half my position this afternoon. Let me get the chart up. It was a volatile one throughout the day. We ran up. I got in right around here. I didn't catch the very bottom. Bottom was 19 cents. You could have gotten it for 11.15. I got in right here midday, and I watched it go through. I said on Friday that I was going to hold it and see if they got really on the bandwagon with the naked shorting crew. We knew that they were saying that they wanted to. And what happened midday today, they drop a press release that they were hiring share intel, and boom, like a cannon, we got this rocket up to 50 cents. So I sold half my position at 46. I got my initial investment back, and the remainder I'm just going to wait and see because it's all profit at this point, and I have no risk. I can sleep at night. Where do I think it's going to go? I covered some of the convertible debt. This company has a lot of convertible bonds and warrants. So the float is higher also. So I don't know how high it can go, but I said in the Discord this afternoon, if it can close, I think that if it can close over 40 and hold that into aftermarket today, that it would not surprise me to see a run up to $1 in pre-market tomorrow.
I'm good. I'll sit this one out.
So I'm just along for the ride. You know, I'm gonna see what it do. And a lot of our folks are playing this one since Friday into today. I know some sold a little early. I guess it just depended on the size of your position and how comfortable you felt. But yeah, that's been a good play too. So, and I will keep on looking at the other ones as like Verb, and there's a couple more that we're looking at. If one is worth calling out to you guys just for you to put eyeballs on it, I will do that. But same morning with this one. I mean, because this is not just a momentum channel, I try and give you the full DD so that you can make smart decisions. There is convertible debt and warrants on this, so just play it smart. Don't be scared to take profits. And if you want to let some ride to the moon, you got my full approval to do that. But I'd hate to see somebody buying in late and then watching it drop, thinking it's coming back.
Yeah.
So if you got in early, you're probably golden.
I missed it. I seen it this afternoon, but it was too late.
I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but we have a saying over here: if you miss one, there'll be another one tomorrow or next week. So don't
That's
feel
right.
bad. It's much better just to sit back, let that one go, and wait for the next one than to buy at the top. I see that so many times. People, oh, it's been running for 2 days. I'm going to jump in. And the next thing you see is they perfectly time the top.
Yep.
I'm sure you've seen that once or twice. I've done it myself once or
I've
twice.
done it. I ain't gonna lie, I've done it. Actually, but I did that, and it's actually a funny story. I bought this was years ago. What's the name of the ticker? Oh, Novavax.
Yeah.
NVAX. That's the ticker symbol. So, God, what was it? 3 years ago? 4 years ago? I bought that. I can't remember. But it went. I bought it. It was at $2. It ended up doing a reverse. No, it dropped below $1. It ended up doing a reverse split, so it went to $2. So I was pissed. I was like, "Screw it, I'm done." And I just left it in my Robinhood account because whatever. I never touched it. But I'm trading on, and I see Novavax was trending.
Yeah.
Going across my screen on a trending tab. Well, what the hell? So where the hell did I do with that? Where did I put that thing, right? So I opened up Robinhood. I was up. I made $1,500 on that.
How long did you have to hold it?
4 years. I don't know. I forgot I had it. I forgot I had it until it scrolled across the screen. I was, what did I ever do with that? You ever see a ticker you used to have? You're like, oh, I got to check that. That's what happened. It's funny.
That is hilarious. 4 years. Wow. And then the zombie woke up.
Yeah. Yep. Penny stocks.
Jonah says he's trying to train himself on riding the wave down. Are you shorting it, Jonah? Or are you trying to train yourself to get out? I'm not sure I understand the comment.
Yeah, I have a cash account. I don't like to use margin.
Yeah,
probably soon.
I have a margin account, but I'm not doing margin when I don't know what the market's going to do. Trying not to use margin.
Soon, I hope.
Hopefully soon we'll get back into those days where you can go to sleep at night and not worry about the market being rug pulled on you.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's about to happen again. You see a SPY today? Oh my God.
Yeah, let me put it up here for folks that, hang on one second.
The other day I was in at 400 and I'm like, there's no way we're breaking this 400, and the chart looked great. It looked like it was going to bust over the 400, and I'm like, it ain't happening. And so I went the other way, and I ended up making money on a downtrend right there. And then the very next day, what they do? Ran it right back up. So this time I said, that was too risky. I'm not messing with it.
Are you playing options on the SPY?
Oh, yeah, options, yeah.
All right. I want to talk to you offline about that.
Yep. Right now I'm not. Right now I'm in SQQQ.
All right.
I got shares.
Let's see. Here's a good question. Do I think Mullen will join the battle against the naked shorts? That is a great question. I think, yes, he probably will. You'd be dumb as a CEO not to capitalize on people's emotions and the investor sentiment that are backing companies that embrace that right now. David Mishuri would be an idiot not to put out a press release saying he's assembling a team and appointing a director to investigate naked shorts, and shares not delivered. Whether or not it's true does not matter. Whether or not he needs to deliver on anything doesn't matter either. Just the fact that people are getting excited about that news and running the price up, Mullen could use that help. Would not surprise me from Mr. Mishuri. They've got a meeting in 2 days talking about their upcoming dilution. So I got my eyeballs on Mullen to see what happens.
Yeah, that's
I do not own Mullen.
we got an ongoing joke. I'm not going to say it because
Say it. It's my channel. Everybody hates me anyways. Just say it.
The Mullen squeeze.
That's the joke.
That's the joke. The float is massive on that stock.
It's 1.75 billion and it's about to go to 5 billion.
Yeah. How are you going to squeeze that?
You're not. I don't understand why people, I don't understand. There's no catalyst coming up until, they're not even really producing their first vehicle and delivering it till the end of 2024. There is zero catalyst for Mullen to kick off any short squeeze, even if they even have short interest worth mentioning. Who's going to short this stock? I know they're going to, but Tony, it's got 300 billion naked shorts. Well, then if they do, Mr. McSherry should hire them. Let's see what the short interest is on Mullen. I do it the old-fashioned way, mediocre. I figure if Ortex and Exchange reported short interest was good enough for Roaring Kitty, it's good enough for me to just talk about that here.
Oh yeah, Sergeant Beef. I seen that comment. That you're right. Yep, mediocre all around, buddy.
12% is the short interest on Mullen right now.
Anything over 10% is squeeze potential, but that thing has a massive flow. I just don't see it.
My criteria is more strict. I say it's got to be over 20%.
Listen here, Super Steven. That's not even funny, nor it's true.
I thought he had some secret information, like you're giving him options tips.
No.
The Taurus Bender says AMC is over leveraged and at risk with high interest rates. Well, are you talking about the debt that they have on the balance sheet? If that is, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. They have to address that. That's why the shorts are on their ass.
Yeah.
And that's why it's probably not a good option for him to consider going after raising more money. So he's raising equity. Really, his only choice is to sell shares into the market. But the good thing about rates being higher and right now the stock price being low, if he is able to raise money with the equity raise, the debt holders have been willing to give him a discount to pay off the debt. So it's a win-lose situation. But clearly they got to do something about that debt. No argument there.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I think the debt is our biggest issue. I think we need to keep going. You know what I do want to hear more about is acquiring Cineworld. I'm hoping that comes back up, but I don't know.
I'm very skeptical on the face of it. But if we could cherry pick the best locations, I might be willing to entertain it. But look, they were already going bankrupt. How profitable were their locations?
Right. Well, they already closed a bunch of locations here in Mass. There was a big thing on it.
The other big issue in the United States is there's just too many damn screens per capita. We have too many. I'd like to see some of them torn down and turned into shopping mall. Some of these Cineworld Regal movie theaters.
Yeah, where I'm at, Regal does not do well. They've already had to close one down. There's a Cinemark over here that does okay, but I don't go there because I'm a AMC shareholder.
They closed a Regal right up the road from me a couple months ago.
But there is a Regal location very close to me that I would love to see AMC acquire. It's in a great location, so they would make money on it. It's probably one of the Regal's better cinemas.
I don't know what's going to happen with the acquisition or whatever, but I like my gut feeling right now is I don't want to contemplate picking up all of their theaters and then having to sort the good from the bad and deal with leases and stuff like that. You know, we don't need another 2,000 theaters or however many they have that
I
are
think
not
that was the
performing.
offer that Adam had on the table with them. I thought he was talking about he only wanted the good ones and
Yeah.
wanted to shut down the other ones, and they said no, right?
Well, I mean, that was our guess. We don't know. We don't know the details of what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe they just didn't want Ape.
I don't know, but they turned around and shut a whole bunch of them down around here. I know that.
Someone's asking about BBBY. I'm just gonna very quickly recap the same conversation I had the other night. Looking at this chart, we had BBBY. Maybe I should go to the hourly. Trying to get the right picture drawn here. Okay, yeah. All right, we have that one. I just want to compare this to two other tickers real quick that had warnings about a pending Chapter 11, and then the Chapter 11 came. Here is AVCT. They had warnings going back in late December that a Chapter 11 was looming, and people, for whatever reason, following clickbaiters on YouTube, ran the price up anyways. Are you familiar with this ticker, Mediocre?
No, I know about it.
And then,
Beyond, right?
No, this is AVCT.
I don't know nothing about it.
So right here on this run up, we knew that Chapter 11 was coming, but people were buying it anyways. And YouTubers are like, this is the best stock ever. Don't worry about that Chapter 11 risk. It's fine, guys. Remember that one stock back in Bandcamp that you know, everything was okay? And then, so people were buying it, retail was buying it. And then this day right here, the Chapter 11 got filed, the press release, it drops 50% in a day.
Yeah.
And then you get that, oh, buy the dips. All the YouTubers buy the dips. It's Chapter 11. It's fine. You know, once they restructure and give you pennies on the dollar, you'll be fine. So you get the what I call the crazy FOMO, like people buying it after Chapter 11 is officially announced. And then this is what I call the reality phase, where it goes down to, 30 cents. It just tanks.
That's a good description, Tony. I
so
like
you got warning, Chapter 11, crazy FOMO, reality.
I like it.
Now I'm going to show you another. I'm going to show you another one that did the exact same thing. Party City. We had the warning right here, and everybody was still buying it. YouTubers still making videos. It's a great stock. I'm accumulating. I'm bullish. I'm not worried about the Chapter 11. You shouldn't be either. And then boom, it drops. Chapter 11. It drops from 37 cents down to 12 cents.
Oh my God.
And you had a momentary, the crazy FOMO was only momentary. It went from 12 to 16.
There's your favorite candle too.
And yeah. And now we're in the reality phase. It went all the way down to 8 cents a day. So yeah, guys, stay away from this trash.
What are you running? 20, 50, and 200 VWAP?
I have on the red is the 200.
That's what
and then I've got the green is a 60, and then I've got 1348.
Oh, okay, yep. All right, that's what I used to.
All right, so now that we've looked at these two stocks, let's look at BBBY. Look, guys, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you. Every company is different. But I feel like right now we're in the warning. We're in the you have been warned phase right here. And you're about to get the boom straight down on a Chapter 11.
What ticker is this?
BBBY, Bed Bath and Beyond.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard the bankruptcy thing. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so that a Chapter 11 is rumored, and everybody's telling you buy it anyways. They're gonna merge with GameStop. Someone's gonna offer them $1 bajillion for bye baby. It's gonna be fine. Look,
yeah, I was wondering why we was running up with that news. It was crazy.
I'm just telling you, I don't know what is going to happen. No one knows, but I do know that if a Chapter 11 is filed, you're going to see that horrible sick boom down 20, 30, 40, 50% before you can even blink your eye. And then you're going to be trading down here at 50, 60 cents. So I just say, you guys do what you want to do. Just be aware of what the possible downside is. Go study the charts for AVCT and PRTY, and then make your own best decision. If you want to take a risk on BBBY, maybe they come out with a restructuring deal. Maybe they sell off some assets, bye baby or something. But I don't touch companies like this when you got that risk hanging over your head.
No, even I don't. I mean, that's one of the tickers that I alert to on my server, but I don't ever trade that one. I'm picky with what I trade, to be honest.
Someone is asking, is Helbiz delisting? I have not come across. I don't recall, but it's probably out there. They're under $1. I'm sure they've been served a delisting notice. Somebody who remembers, let me know. I don't plan on being in Helbiz long enough to worry about that.
I got to do some research on HYMC. I'm getting a delisting notice. It's been a long time.
I've got some great videos on Hycroft Mining that I put out about 4 months ago.
Yeah. They got to be coming up close to getting the delisting notice, right?
They have one. Yeah, they have one.
Okay, see?
And they will probably write it all the way through the 180 days and then apply for the extension and get another 180 days. That would be my guess. Because right now, just real quick recap on Hycroft. They finished phase 1 of their exploration. They're entering phase 2 of their exploration. And they're trying to get enough good drill samples, core samples, to bring back to us, Mediocre, and say, here's what we got. And we've told you, you might not have been listening, but we have told you in our filings and in our speeches that half the ore is locked up in a type of ore that we can't get out. We can't extract the metal on a leach pad. We need a milling operation. So yeah, I think that they're timing all of this to spring it all about the same time. They're going to probably need somewhere between $750 million to $1 billion of additional capital to build this milling operation. So they want to get all the drilling and core samples done so they have a good picture to show us. Here's why we think it's justifiable to do a dilution, and it's going to be a reverse split and then a dilution.
Yeah.
To raise extra capital and build this milling operation. That's what I think is going to happen. You're going to see boom, 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 phase 2 results. Everything's great. By the way, we need to reverse split and we need a dilution because we need $1 billion to build a milling operation. The reason I brought
it up is because I'm saying to myself, man, HYMC's been under $1 for a long time. That's more than 180 days.
There's no, I don't see any real catalyst for them moving until the milling operation's up and running, probably late 2024 at the soonest. But I'm in it. I'm long. I've got 20-25 calls because anytime they do a press release, you get those little retail FOMO bubbles.
Yeah.
So I've been buying it cheap, selling into those. Wait a week, it comes back down. I rebuy. That's just like pocketing money.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something. I only got $300 in it, but you know, I bought it as a sympathy to AMC. I don't really, I'd like to get my $300 back, but I don't really care too much about it, to be honest. Don't shoot me. You know what I mean? I day trade. It is what it is, but it's tying up some of my my funds.
You'll have a chance. I mean, I don't know what you got in at, and you don't need to tell us, but there'll be some more FOMO bubbles. I can assure you that.
No, yeah, I'm waiting. I'll wait for another one. I don't mind taking a little loss or whatever. I might even buy some to average it down and just dump it in the next little run up or whatever.
I'm not bearish on Mullen. I'm just saying this is a play that's going to take several years of patience and a lot of luck. Like they got to have good drilling results. We need the price of gold and silver to stay high. And hopefully they package it all up and are able to get that milling operation up. And then, I mean, they've got a lot of metal in the ground. If they can get it out and they don't over dilute us and you didn't overpay for the stock, that's my biggest thing right now for myself is if I'm going to be adding Highcroft, I want it as cheap as freaking possible. Because I know dilution's coming.
I could fix my position easy, to be honest. I'm not really, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I could get in and get through the dilution and get in after that and not have to worry about it.
Chase says Apron is the next big play. Someone must be talking about Apron out there because I was getting a lot of questions on it today. It's on my to-do list to figure out. I started looking into it and then I got distracted this afternoon, but I'm going to do a 1 hour dive into Apron and figure out if that's something we need to talk about. Do you know anything about that one? I know it has high short interest is I think why people are looking at it.
No, but I will take a look at it later on. Me and my buddy Gus, we like to do some little research on stuff.
41% short interest.
Let me send a message to myself over here, actually.
Cost to borrow is still pretty low, 21%. APRN. I think it's been smacked down pretty hard. But if it's 41% shorted, you know what that means.
Yeah.
There's probably a reason why the price is $1 and the short interest is 40%.
That's the thing. Like anything that's under a dollar for the most part, it's under $1 for a reason, right? Don't get me wrong. There's some good companies that are under $1 right now. I'll just say there's some companies in the marijuana sector that are under $1 that probably shouldn't be. But what are you going to do? They're in the marijuana sector. They got no outlook for the next 2 years, in my opinion. It's just opinion. Don't shoot me. So take that with a grain of salt. Now, I'm not big on the marijuana stocks anyways, but they there's a couple that are probably under $1 that probably shouldn't be there with the cash that they have. I don't know. But I haven't really done much research on them in a year and a half, so.
The interesting thing about these high short interest plays like Apron, if their financials have been a wreck and they get to a point where they can actually work on the business for a year and get the marketing right, get the cost under control and start pulling some profitable quarters. If you were able to get it cheap, you can get a nice return on that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you just buy it cheap and wait for a bunch of clickbaiters to start talking about it because the short interest is high.
Yep.
That happens too. I did try that recently with Weber, the grill company, WEBR. They were really high for a while on the short interest list, and they screwed me over. Instead of YouTubers talking about it, they got a buyout offer. Just a small percentage over the current price. So that didn't really work out.
Well,
You never know, guys, when these things get really cheap and they get beaten down. I mean, what if, I don't know where you're holding Apron from. If you're getting it at $1, the risk is less. But if they get a buyout offer for $1.75 a share,
that's 75 cents.
you're done. The game is over. If you're holding it from $10, you just lost all your money.
But if you got it at $1, you made 75 cents.
Right. If you got it at $1, you're okay, right?
That's
But
right.
a lot of people are bag holding this, from 10, 12, 16 bucks, wondering when it's going to come back. And that's really a question for management. And I'd need to spend an hour figuring out where they went wrong and what they're doing to fix it. So I can't do that on a live, but I am going to do it because I got folks in the Discord asking me.
Well, I jotted it down. I'm going to take a look at it and see what it looks like.
All right, I'm trying to catch up. I'm skipping a bunch of comments to catch up. I'm 15 minutes behind on comments. What are my thoughts on Cosmos? I played Cosmos when it was running up, Alan, and I'm out of the play at the moment. I got out on the day they announced the reverse split. Haven't been back.
I think that one's done. Opinion.
I mean, it's a penny stock that did a reverse split, and didn't they do a dilution? Yeah, they did a dilution also, didn't they?
Yeah, but the run up, it's got that candle on the chart as well, in the daily.
This?
Yeah, highlight that area.
That was an anomaly. They, I don't know if you were paying attention when that happened, but they announced the reverse split overnight to be effective the next morning, which is very rushed, and not all the brokers were ready in the morning. So some of them had it mispriced, and half the people couldn't even trade it. And the people that were mispriced, they were selling it at 23 cents, which went on the tape at 23 cents when, because of the reverse split, it should have been $6.
Yeah, but that happened right after the run up, right? No, there, that run up is what happened.
This all happened in pre-market. All the action happened in pre-market.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was an extreme anomaly. I've never seen anything like it. I was watching it play out in pre-market. Anyways, we don't need to rehash that one. I'm not in Cosmos anymore, and it's just been going down. So
I never got in it. I just knew people who were in it, and they made money.
Oh, I remember Teddy. I think Teddy Zane thought he was selling it at the very beginning of the pre-market. I was watching him that morning. He's like, guys, I just sold this at, I think he said he sold it at 6. Ah, fuck. I'm not going to try and remember. Anyways, he got a trade that he thought he made a lot of money at, but Robinhood had not fixed the pricing. So they ended up backing out his trade later that day. And then he got lucky that it ran the entire day and he was able to get out at a profit.
No.
It was pretty bad, but a lot of people made money that day.
Yeah, I didn't touch it.
All right. Ape Logic says, Tony, do you think Bior will have another rip due to the current cost to borrow stats? Let me look at it. I have seen Bior moving, but I'm out of that play also. If y'all have questions for Mediocre while I'm pulling this up, feel free to drop them in the chat. That can't be right. estimated short interest 243%.
Question, I'm not sure who it was, but they said, Tony, do you think crypto hit the bottom? Six Sun.
Boy, Six Sun is on my ass about crypto.
Sorry.
No, and it's just a running joke. Like, he is messaging me every day for the last week. Did you see it's moving up? It's not 18,000 anymore. It's 19,000. 20,000. What do we do? 21, 22. I'm still not completely trusting where we're at on crypto.
I'm not trusting where we're at in the overall market at all, either one of them.
If we make it to March and we're still at 22, 23,000, I'll feel a little better. I don't see a dilution notice. Normally when I see something like 243% short interest, there is a dilution that is not reflected in Ortex. Let me check my dilution tracker.
Maggie has a question about
right.
GTII.
What's up, Maggie? Nope, no recent dilution. All right, I need to check into Bior why their short interest is so high. Maggie, since I'm so far behind in the chat, if you could just retype it, we'll get it up.
Mellow Doug's asking about NKLA. Do you know anything about that one?
Is that Nikola?
Yeah.
Not a ticker that I follow.
I'm looking for Maggie's comment.
Do you have your, are you streaming this on your channel also?
Yes.
Did you set your chat to 60-second delay?
No, I'm reading your chat.
No, but like if you're streaming it on your channel, you know how you can go into studio and set the chat?
Slow-mo, you mean?
Yeah.
I did not. Can I do that now?
Yep.
It's not going super fast.
Well, I mean, it's going so fast I can't. The reason I do 60 seconds, otherwise we'll never get these questions because they just go by too fast.
Gotcha. All right, so
and I'm done with my content, so I want to get people's questions.
Gotcha.
But we got to slow down the chat so we can catch some of these.
So in YouTube Studio, comments.
$17.96 Patriot, what's up? Yuka Frita, Angelina, if I didn't say hi to you. Taurus Bender, how many shares of AMC do I have? I don't know if I like his attitude. How many am I about to lose? Is this guy being a troll in the chat? Yes. All right. I haven't been watching the chat, so I'm gonna let you guys vote. We're gonna roll the drums. If we get enough torches in the chat, then I know that you guys have been watching it and he's trolling you. Do we have sound effects?
Tony.
Oh, Mr. Torres, I'm seeing a bunch of torches. You must have been a naughty boy.
Karen, bring me your torch. The tribe has spoken. It's time for you to leave Ape Island. Bye, Felicia.
All right, let me find
Tony, in
him.
YouTube studio.
Huh?
In YouTube studio. Where do I find those turn on slow-mo?
All right. I think you have to go into edit and then customization.
In the creator studio?
Yeah, open up the live stream using so you can see the picture in the chat, and you'll see the title, and there's a button that says edit next to it.
Oh, so it's in your stream. All right. Hold on, my channel's playing background, I think.
If mediocre's echoing, it's probably because I had sound effects on.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what
I got that fixed.
All right. I want to let you see this.
For those who haven't heard my story as far as AMC shares go, now that we got the troll out, all of my shares are paid for from options that I sold back in June of 2021. So it doesn't matter to me what the price does. And I started buying when it was in the $6 to $8 range. I have some that are underwater, but they were all bought with the money that I made in options. So overall, I'm green on the play. On my shares right now, I'm down. I've bought some as high as $38 before I knew that the recession in November was going to come on full force. Did you find it, mediocre?
No, I'm looking for it. So it's on Restream, right?
No, on your YouTube. You have to go to your YouTube channel.
All right, hang on. All right, so I'm in YouTube Studio, or just my channel itself?
I would go to Studio and then open up this stream so that you get to the screen that's got the little video, and it says stream settings, analytics, stream health.
All right, so I was afraid to click on our video.
Mellow Doug. If you want me to look at the chart on Nikola, I can, but I don't know anything. I don't know any due diligence on the stock. It's not one that I follow. When we look at the chart itself, hang on. These are typically not the type of stocks that I'm trying to buy. Something that's dropped from $93 down to $276. But as we were saying earlier on some of these other ones, if they get cheap enough, there's a reason that it fell all the way down here. If they get cheap enough and the company has a plan to fix whatever financial problem wrecked them like that, that is up for your due diligence. I can't answer that type of question without spending at least an hour reading through financial statements and filings and management plans for the future. Short interest is 28%. Yeah, I'm not looking to add a bunch of stocks that have fallen from 93 to $2. Let me see what news they have here. EV rally continues to shock investors. Nikola gains after announcing new order in Germany. God, all these articles are behind a paywall. Nikola to deliver 100 heavy-duty fuel cell electric vehicles. Yeah, if we're talking a EV company, that's gonna take me at least an hour, maybe two, to read through and figure out what their plan is, when they can start making money. I have the intention to go through in the first few months of this year. It's been an intention that I've had for a while to go through every single EV play. But I have my tier 1 EVs, which is Tesla, my tier 2, Rivian, Lucid, and Polestar, and everything else that is not in major production. I'm calling tier 3, like high risk plays. This is not one that I've done any real studying on. Jeffrey, yeah, I on AMC, I just recently, about 2 weeks ago, took this opportunity at $3.90 to average down a little bit, because I remember back in 2021 thinking, I wish I could have bought under $6. So $3.90 is my cheapest shares now. And I've justified that to myself that that those would partially offset the ones that I bought at 38.
I'm in here. I just don't see where to do it, Tony.
Do you see the video playing right now of us, and then it has the title to the right of it?
Yeah.
And then the edit button?
Yep. Oh, so it's not in the chat to the right.
Yeah, click on edit, and then click on customization and scroll down.
Gotcha.
Message delay.
I'm over there looking in the chat, like trying to clicking all over there. Oh, there it is. All right, there you go. All set. I didn't know it was under that. I'm messing with the chat.
Yeah, we're not trying to slow down the chat to punish anybody. It's just so that we can try and get to your questions. All right. PD Harris says, what do you think of the timeline for Helbiz? I said in the Discord earlier this evening and on this live stream that if I think there's a good chance if it held over 40 cents in after hours that you could see a run up to $1 in pre-market tomorrow. Timeline beyond that, I'm taking it minute by minute on Helbiz. I sold half of mine at 46 cents today when it ran up, and the rest is just it's profit. It's whatever for me. If it goes to $1, $3, if it drops to 20 cents, I'm gonna play the momentum on it. I have no risk left in the play, so I would like to extract maximum profit, but if it turns down and crashes tomorrow, that's just less profit.
I just want to get caught up to speed. What stock you talking about?
Helbiz. Grandpa Barney. Someone said Grandpa Barney's in the chat. I see a couple people talking to him, but I don't see him.
Hi, Grandpa. I see him. He's there. He says, Mike packing, Grandma. Let me see where he went.
Steven says, can we look at Wayfair?
He's sending Grandma Barney to Vegas. That's right.
Oh, that is a nice gap up.
Hi, Greg.
Isn't it funny? There was a press release 9 hours ago that they did layoffs, but it is perplexing to some people sometimes. Why are they laying off and the stock is going up?
Yeah.
A lot of times
Here's
it's
the
because
Ford.
they're cutting cost. You know, they're improving. They're going to improve their income statement.
Ford did that today. I was thinking the same thing to myself.
Why is it going up after layoffs?
Yeah, but that's the only thing that I could come up with, but I wasn't certain.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't lose operational efficiency, depends on how big the layoffs are. If it's just like 6 or 10%, a lot of these companies, some of their biggest expenses is payroll. So if they can knock that down a little bit, it makes things look a little better. Wayfair gets a double upgrade today from JP Morgan. And they assigned a price target of $63. It's at 53 right now. Baird maintains the recommendation at neutral, not buy, not sell. Baird gives it a price target of 52. Well, that's where it jumped up to today. Let me scroll down a little more. Wedbush upgrades Wayfair to outperform from neutral. Wayfair surges due to cost cuts, sparking hope for future profits. Yeah, here's the headline. Wayfair layoffs send stock up 20%.
Yep. They do that.
When was their last earnings? It's been a while. November, December, February, December. The next earnings should be in about the next 30 days.
I'm hoping AMD pulls back. The thing took off. I mean, I was in at the bottom. I was expecting to pull back. I sold.
You playing AMD?
I was. It was pretty much bottomed out. I was playing some gold too. IAU. It's an expensive stock.
I did not look at gold prices today. How were they?
I didn't check today because I sold that one a little early too, so I was not happy. I mean, I made money, but I sold early. It's just, I don't know. You know how when you sell early, you're like, oh.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, these type of charts I like a little better. When we look at one that starts at $100 and just goes down and to the right from 100 down to $2, those I don't spend a lot of time trying to get to know. But when you have a company like AMD that has a history of turning a profit in a decade of the stock chart going up and to the right, and then you get in a recessionary environment or a supply chain issue or oversupply and the stock gets beat down, these are the type of stocks that I'm looking to buy right now.
Me too. Those are the ones I want.
So, yeah.
And I was at that recent bottom and I sold too early. I was hoping for another pullback.
And it's right at the 200 MA.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the weekly. Let me go to the daily. It's under the 200 MA. Yeah, so I'm sure you would say if it crosses $80, or this moving average keeps coming down, they could get a little bump.
Yeah. I want another pullback, but it's got a W right there. You see it?
Yep. So
I
what are
don't
you
know.
thinking? What's your near-term outlook next 3 months?
I think the whole overall market's going to come down. So I think we'll have a second chance opportunity to load up on these, these good stocks,
Yep.
At
There's
least
a
that's
few.
what I'm hoping. I'm not certain that's going to happen, but
There's a few that, like Apple, that I'm looking at that I haven't bought yet because of that same fear.
yeah. I think the overall market's still a little high. I know people don't want to hear that, S&P 500 runs up today, it breaks over 400. Everybody's happy, bull market's back, I don't buy into that yet. I mean, it's great. I mean, I like the bull runs, don't get me wrong. Like, I want to go long. Believe me, that's way easier to make money that way than it is where we're at now. I think we have a pullback. That's all I'm saying.
What's up, Walt?
Welcome, Walt. Nice to meet you.
I recognize your name, Walt. You're not new here. All right, we got a comment here. JP Morgan owns 600,000 of Wayfair shares a double upgrade so they can dump their shares. That would be something, part of the due diligence to understand. Go look at the institutional ownership. Good call out if that is correct. Thank you for that.
I mean, what's the opinion of the overall, the community, the chat right now? You guys think the market's going to continue in a bullish trend, or you think we're going to have a pullback into the bearish downward trend that we're been seeing for the past year?
That is a great question for the chat. Guys, let us know. Do you think like between now and March, now and July, we're going to have another major pullback, or do you think we're through the worst part? Clark says, is it possible some of these CEOs are coming against the hedge funds with West Christian, are just doing it to get a small run on their stock? I think it's absolutely a possibility, Clark. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that they might be getting snookered by all these CEOs, but it is absolutely a possibility. The day they publish data to us showing evidence of naked shorts, then I will retract that statement. Right now, I'm hearing interviews with John Berta when he got interviewed the past couple days with John and Mr. Hamilton, James Roger Hamilton, whatever. And John was like, yeah, retail got on board with our stock and the price went up. It was great. We love retail investors. And we went up from like 40 cents to $4. And the debt holders, the bond holders were able to convert a bunch of shares. They made they made a lot of money. They were really happy. I'm like thinking to myself, that's what all these guys are doing. They all have convertible debt. Now, if you love the company and you bid the price up and you're bailing out the bondholder, but it also does help the company because they get that debt off their books. It just basically screws you because that is dilution.
I think it's kind of, not saying that they're actually doing this because I don't know that they're doing that 100% as of yet, but I'll say this. It's funny how AMC and GameStop pretty much got the support of retail.
Yeah.
And everybody's trying to take advantage of that. They want that support.
Well, like I heard John say, and I agree with him, Most of these very, micro cap companies, they're not owned by institutions anyways. They're owned by retail. So it is incumbent on them to embrace retail, but I'm just wondering out loud, and I will know the answer when I see the data, but I'm wondering out loud, is this whole naked shorting West Christian thing for real, or is it just a way to pump up your price?
Yeah.
So you can do a dilution and the convertible debt can be paid off and swapped to equity and fix your balance sheet. I don't know.
I mean,
I'd like to see a press release saying, here's the data that we found. Here's the culprit. Here's all the naked shorts. I do not want to wait, guys, 3, 4, 5, 6 years for a legal battle. And I know you don't either.
I mean, you got a point. I mean, put out the information, right?
They say they got it. They
At
say
least
they
the
got
SEC
it. Put it out.
If they got it, the SEC has it, right? How come the SEC hasn't said anything either?
I'm all for any of these guys pushing that agenda. If they're really pushing it and they're really doing something, 100% back all of them up. And I hope someone finds something, but we need to know as soon as they know.
I mean, I want market transparency and market change just like everybody else. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to feel like we're getting taken advantage of either as shareholders, of these companies.
Aaron says, what if someone only owns APE during the conversion? All of your APE should convert 1-to-1 to AMC shares, as long as the conversion's before the reverse split.
Correct. Agreed. No matter what, you got 100 shares of APE, it's going to convert to be 100 shares of AMC, and then it's going to get its 10-to-1 reverse split, whatever it is.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of this question that the other gentleman asked and just another APES question, I've been slowly, I don't have a whole lot of free time, but in my free time, I've been trying to look up some of West Christian's cases for like actual results. We talked about this the other night. Whatever his old partner's name used to be, what was it? John O'Quinn, rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I heard about this. I don't have the details like you do, but I did hear something.
He died in a car accident, but I found a case that he prosecuted back in, I think it was 96 or 2006. He sued 100 different entities, brokers and such, with allegations of naked shorting. Same thing we're hearing now, right? Same exact stuff. And the judge dismissed that case for lack of evidence. Now, maybe things have changed, right? Maybe we've gotten share intel and better ways to go after it. But in that particular case, the CEO of the company was adamant that he was being naked shorted, and he hired the attorney to go sue everybody. The case got dismissed. And then the ironic thing that I stumbled upon as I was looking up that company to see what else I could find about them, subsequent to that, the CEO of the company himself got fined by the SEC for manipulation of his own stock.
Yeah.
Over $1 million. He had to pay a fine and basically, I don't know what they call it, clawback or restitution. He had to repay all the illegal gains and a fine. I just found that a little bit ironic, and I hope none of these current CEOs are doing that bullshit.
Yeah. That's funny. That's what you call karma.
The name of the company, I think it was called JAG, J-A-G Tech. You can look it up. I mean, I read all the documents. They're out there.
I love it. I like it. Did anybody answer that question I asked?
Well,
No, we don't know yet.
Maybe I'll do it as a poll.
That's a good way to do it. I'm curious to see overall sentiment.
You want to put a time frame on it?
I don't. Yeah, 10 minutes or whatever. That should work.
No, like a market correction before March, before
Oh,
July 2023.
Yeah, before March. Because that's only a couple months away, so that gives a little time for something to happen, you know?
All right, let's see people's sentiment here.
That's basically a month away.
Let's say by the end of March, so 2 months.
Perfect.
Did you see? I haven't talked to you, I don't think, about the Occupy SEC 23.
No, I seen. I was watching your video last night with Mass. I seen your little things. So I knew something was up.
I have no idea what your position is on it, but you know, my basic position is I live in America and I support people's right to assemble and protest something if they want to. And I know Massalorian is planning to go to DC, but today the clips are going around. Our old buddy, the fanny pack boy. You know who I'm talking about?
I'm not certain.
One of the original 2 AMC YouTubers. He's well known now for selling fanny packs.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know
He live streamed the call with some of the naked shorting CEOs, Jeremy Frommer and Mr. Hamilton and John Berta. And at some point, the clip was cut and put out on Twitter of him saying, I don't understand why anybody would go demonstrate or protest. I can promise you this is not going to end well.
Why not?
Why not? Right. And didn't he start his first channel for the first couple of years talking about how important advocating for market manipulation was?
Yes, he was 100%.
But all of a sudden, now that a couple of Americans want to go make their voice heard, he says this is not going to end well for you. I'm just like blown away by what I heard today.
I mean, this is a free country and we have a First Amendment for a reason. I'll just say that, you know, and I think that's amendment number 1 for a reason, you know, and I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Never mind. I agree with Mass. I'll just say that. How's that?
It just amazes me the amount of people, not only, okay, you don't want to cover one stock. I get that. Look, everybody makes their choices, how you want to manage your content, but to completely turn your back on retail investors and say you should never make your voice heard or it's not going to end well.
But
what the actual
AMC community created him. He's lucky to be where he is. You know, I mean, that's the truth. I don't like the guy. I never really did, to be honest.
If Meet Kevin comes out with a don't go protest video, then I know that there's a script being passed around. I'm just saying. I went and looked. It's not there yet, but if it's up before Thursday, I know there's a script.
That's funny. I don't know. I do a lot of investment type looking at stuff, and I'm actually going to give a shout out to one of my favorite YouTube channels. But it has nothing to do with the stock market. It's totally a real estate channel. And what's funny though is Meet Kevin was on there, and I don't know. Some of you might know who he is. Some of you may not. But his name is Ben Mala.
Oh, yeah. I know him.
His channel is Life for Sale. I like him. He's a good dude.
You think?
I don't know. I like his. I think he's a big mouth, but I like what he does. You know what I mean?
He's entertaining.
That he is.
Yeah.
He does. He does entertain. But he tries to hype people up in a way, and he's got good points, right? You need banks. No.
He
Yeah,
is the type. He is the type of guy that, if you aspire to change your station in life, he's got nice things, right?
He does.
He's the type of guy that you'd like to have on speed dial to ask questions to.
And when Meet Kevin was down there, I'm like, what the hell's going on? I thought that was pretty weird, to be honest. So I don't know if anybody's seen Meet Kevin's video with him down there or whatever, but
I saw the thumbnail. I didn't watch the video.
I don't watch any of Meet Kevin's videos, to be honest. So I watch Ben's. I find it funny.
Blazin says the protest will be unsuccessful and really only holds the potential for negative outcome. I mean, we'll know in a week, Blazin. We'll know in a few days. And how do you define success, really? If they get some media coverage, I'd call that a success. If it makes them feel better, I'd call that a success. But I do think that meaningful change in DC or Wall Street is going to take continuous press for years or until the market blows up.
Exactly.
So one protest, it's more of a feel good, but you're going to need to do this on a monthly or quarterly basis and get better organized and better media coverage every time and have a really succinct, easily digestible message that people can pick up on and get behind.
I mean, Charles Payne's the only guy, I don't know what else to say. I mean, the media in this country is terrible. I don't want to go any deeper than that.
Yeah, I have no doubt that they all have all been told what to say and what was.
It comes every morning at 3:30, and when they get there, they know what to say.
Guys, I know some of y'all saw this clip. There were two hosts, a lady and a gentleman, sitting and talking about something, and I'm not talking about what's the Asian lady on Fox, Melissa Lee. It's not her. This was a recent clip in the last couple days where she was about to say something about the markets, and she's like, "Oh, no, I can't say that. I'm going to get in trouble."
No. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was about gas ranges, how they
the stoves,
producing stoves, right?
She's like, do you think she's like, do you think that this gas stove thing is just because they want to push green energy? Oh, I'm being told I can't say this.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
I'm in trouble. I was dead. I'm like, these people are nuts, man. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. The media definitely is being, every person, every talking head is being told from someone above what they can and can't say.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's a propaganda machine is what I like to think of it as. So I try not to watch. I watch it for other reasons, but I don't believe anything that's on the news.
We got the poll results, 108 votes in, 79% of people feel there is going to be another market correction before the end of March.
Yeah, I figured that myself.
Burn Stonk says this is the kickoff rally, more to come. Yeah, hopefully, I pray that everything goes smoothly and that there's no bad characters that show up. I did put out what I would do if I was in DC. number one, everybody needs to have their phones / cameras at the ready in case there's anybody that looks suspicious. This might be overkill. I'm just saying this is, plan for all contingencies. And anybody shows up in a mask, oh, I'm afraid of COVID, I would be having extra eyeballs on that person or people. People show up in masks. Because I'm not saying I don't think that there's going to be any bad actors there. I don't think that. But if there were, they would probably be disguised somehow with masks.
And I don't think it'll be apes. You know what I mean? I don't think apes will be ridiculous. I think it's would be something else, something nefarious or something like that.
So I'm not saying that anything bad is going to happen, but I just always analyze all the possibilities, and that is a possibility, even if it's remote. I'm sure it'll be peaceful and just fine. But I would be, just like when I go in a restaurant, I pick a chair with my back to the wall so I can see the door where everybody comes in. If I was at a protest, I'd have my head on a swivel for people that aren't interacting with the group or who are masked up or just look out of place, just in case.
I mean, believe it or not, there are people who do not want market correction.
It's absolutely. Yeah, everybody on Wall Street and in DC.
Yeah, it's one big club and we ain't in it, just like George Carlin said. It is 100% a truthful statement if I ever heard one.
James says they pay people to be nasty to us. Why would they not send in troublemakers? That they absolutely could. I'm not discounting the possibility.
That's kind of why we're talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, I want anyone who's going to be there to keep in the back of your mind what I'm saying. Like, don't just go in there thinking it's all going to be great. You still need to be a little bit on your guard and paying attention to who's coming around.
Do you remember Occupy Wall Street in 2008? A lot of you probably don't remember, but they made that look so bad on the media.
Yep, they did. They did, and I remember at that time, sad to say, thinking badly of them because I was letting the media sway my opinion.
Same.
And now I've completely flipped. Like those guys had the right idea. I mean, they were just early.
Yes, they were.
We're round two.
And and it's true, right? But they camped out there forever. They did not give up, but those people lost their livelihoods. It was sad. Like I said, check out the Bernie Madoff whole deal. You know what I mean? I didn't watch that movie yet. I watched part of it. I just don't have the time because I do a lot of trading and my business and such. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that had 2008 stuff in it. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it did. That shit was nuts back in 2008.
It caught all of us by surprise for sure. Except what's his name? Michael Burry.
Yeah. No, he knew, man. He knew. He seen it. It's kind of like, and what that reminds me of is like AMC.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a matter of how patient can you be.
Yep. And it's like, what's his name there? Shoot. I can't think of his name, but that's his famous quote. I do this every day. Patience in the market is what you want. Warren Buffett.
Yep. I saw, I randomly came across a video from Warren Buffett from 2006. Some of y'all might have seen it today. A few thousand people watched that video. And it said, Warren Buffett comments on naked shorts. And someone asked him from the audience at a shareholder meeting, what is your opinion on naked shorts? That was the exact wording they used. And he didn't directly answer. He didn't say, here's what I think about naked shorts. Instead, what he said is, here's what I think about shorts. They're okay. They're a normal function of the market. He said, I don't really short, that's a dangerous business. Your risk is unlimited. And I was reading through a couple of the comments, like, why isn't he calling out naked shorts? That's what everyone was saying. Why won't he address it? Guys, the regs show that started outlawing naked shorts didn't even get passed till 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure it was legal to do naked shorts before 2005, if I'm not mistaken. It might not have been legal, but I mean, they put teeth into it starting in 2005 when Reg Show was passed. So Warren Buffett, you got to understand the time frame when he was commenting on that. Naked shorts, to the extent that we know about it now, wasn't really thought about the same way back in 2006.
I mean, we can learn a lot from 2008. You just got to open up your mind. And if you don't really know what happened in 2008, I mean, I suggest you do a little research on it, to be honest. And then on top of that, with the Fed in their soft landing stuff, I don't know. That's just a soft landing is just a way, in my opinion. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but this is how I look at it. They want a soft landing so they could slowly rob your 401k and your retirement fund, right? Because you're not paying attention. If they do it slowly instead of all at once.
I think the soft landing thing is just a fugazi
I do too.
To placate the public and tell you it's all going to be okay. Meanwhile, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and it's not going to be a soft landing, but they just keep on pushing that out there, that narrative, for people to think that there's a chance it could be okay.
Don't you guys think it's funny that the SPY got pushed down and then it ran right back up within a day or two? I mean, I don't know.
That's why I'm scared to play the SPY, but I guess, I mean, it's becoming so predictable, this ping pong stuff. Maybe I should.
Just another rapist. He's too funny.
Tim F says, what about CEOs do a share buyback? It depends on the company, Tim. A lot of companies don't have cash to spare to do a buyback. A lot of these companies are, like, what was the one I was looking at? Visa has had 3 months of cash left in the bank. And share buybacks are things that companies do with excess profits. And probably none of the stocks you're looking at right now, these meme stocks and squeeze plays, have the excess cash to do a share buyback. They're all dealing with losses, and they're not thinking about buying back shares. They're thinking about selling more shares into the market because they need more cash to not go bankrupt. What were you going to say, Mediocre?
I was going to say, what was it? GNS or Genius? I forget the ticker.
Yeah, GNS.
But that was one of the things I read that night. I didn't get in during the day. I got in the after hours, right? And so, but before I entered, I wanted to do a little research on it. But that's what they said. They were going to do either a reverse split. And I'm like, well, it's above $2, so that could be out of the question, but I don't really know. That was before I had that document too, by the way. But I looked at it, and then they said reverse split, or that they would do a buyback, a share buyback. And I'm like, that'll get people to buy in. And that's the FOMO pump happened.
Yep.
And I just, okay. Went along for the ride.
Bone Stonk says Wall Street is literally a mechanism to make your money their money. Guys, give me your best stripper name. Wall Street is a stripper. Let's just give it a name. I mean, literally, that's what they do, right? They know how to work the system and your psychology to make your money their money. Whether it's in your wallet or in the ATM, they will extract it from you. Let's give Wall Street a stripper name on this channel.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I also believe that they they pay psychologists to find ways to influence and propagandize shareholders in the market.
You think that they pay money to do what?
To get information from psychologists on how to manipulate people's minds to sell.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely, absolutely, 100%.
I really think that it really. I know it happens because just look at AMC and how people been reacting because the price was getting so low. And I get it. It's fearful, right? It makes you nervous. Call it the wife.
We got Destiny, we got Bambi. Come on, I know more than one of you know stripper names besides Destiny and Bambi.
Bambi. Come on, guys.
Brittany Pumping Up to the stage.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Portia Night Dancer, Candy Cane. Yuka Frita is the perfect stripper name.
I like Pump and Dump.
Brittany Pump and Dump.
Yeah, that's a good one. Sounds pretty accurate too.
Black Betty, Black Lavender. Alopecia.
Oh,
What's I'm not gonna go there. I'll get in trouble. Nana Ape. Oh Lord. Starlet. Cinnamon. Oh, that's a good one. Cinnamon to the stage. You're up next, Cinnamon. What else? I saw the Warren Buffett. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about.
I don't know.
Let me see if debt ceiling. We're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
Oh, this article. I'm gonna put a link to it in the chat, but it's also up on my community tab and in my Twitter. Why naked short selling has suddenly become a hot topic. Some of y'all might have seen this. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. There was a very telling comment from a short seller in this. He was talking about why people short sell. There's 2 pages of explanation how it's necessary and and how they do a proper short and an improper short. But this is the sentence. Let me put it up on the screen. Move.
My problem with it is, what's the point of a share float if you allow that stuff? The share float doesn't matter anymore.
This was a sentence that blew me away, where the short seller said, how is naked short selling possible? According to Mr. Hurwitz, it is incumbent on the brokers to stop placing borrowed shares in customers' accounts when shares are depleted. All right, we know that. But he added that some brokers, even in the United States, lend out these same shares multiple times because it is lucrative. This is Moshe Hurwitz. I'm assuming he's a real person who is in charge of Blues Inn Capital Management, a firm in Atlanta that specializes in short selling. I see all the freaking hater channels for YouTubers that cover market manipulation and meme stocks and say we're all crazy and we don't know what we're talking about. We're making this stuff up. Rehypothecation doesn't happen. Naked shorting doesn't happen. You have a short seller telling you right here that he knows that brokers lend out the same shares multiple times. That is rehypothecation. There are numerous ways that they can create synthetic shares, whether it's rehypothecation, legal shorts, illegal shorts, synthetic shares created through the options chain. Do not frickin' tell me that this is not happening. They spend a lot of money to hire the best and the brightest to figure out ways to weasel through the existing regulations. And when they can't weasel through, they just push it out overseas. And
in my eyes, it destroys the share float, because
absolutely. I mean, that's their whole point. Just keep on creating them. Screw the float.
So what's the point? What's the point of having a share float? Then every stock should be able to trade whatever it trades. I mean, I disagree with that wholeheartedly, but that doesn't make a free market for shareholders.
Look at this other comment that he said. I want y'all to internalize this. To really push a stock down, you need long investors to sell.
Mm-hmm.
They want to wear us down.
Mm-hmm. You should save that.
Huh?
We should save that.
I put it out on my community tab on Twitter, and hopefully people retweet it and internalize this. But the other thing, I was just blown away when I had heard John Burda of Torchlight, formerly Torchlight, then that became MMTLP. They merged with MMAT. He said he noticed one day when he was in charge of Torchlight, and he thought, the short interest is really getting high on my stock. And then one day it dropped, but the stock price was still going down. And he called his rep over at NASDAQ. John's the CEO. He called NASDAQ and said, what happened to all that short interest? This is his words. I mean, the interview's out there from a couple days ago. The NASDAQ rep told him that all those shorts got moved overseas. And since NASDAQ doesn't count that, the short interest got adjusted down.
What? That's ridiculous.
This is the type of, when I talk about malfeasance and shenanigans, don't fucking tell me that stuff's not happening.
Oh, I 100% believe that's happening, no doubt.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the people who like to watch our streams and then make fun of us because they think we're making shit up.
Yeah, no, I know there's a bunch of them. And whatever, if you don't want to be long on it, that's fine. I'm not telling you to be long. I don't tell anybody to trade anything.
Yeah, same here. I don't tell anyone to buy, sell, or hold. I talk about what I'm doing, and I talk about things that interest me, and I talk about things that interest my viewers. But market manipulation is 100% a thing.
To me, I see AMC as a value stock. That's what I see. It's probably going to be one of the only ones that survived the whole COVID crap, and make a comeback.
Gabby gargles makes me funny. Makes me laugh. Mikey, Mike, thank you. Corey says the shit has not yet hit the fan like 08. Oh, Lord.
I love it.
Clark says, if Julie and I are able to pull $500,000 or $1 million out of one of the short squeeze plays we are in, I will have more time to make it my mission to expose the hedge funds. Clark, if I don't know how many shares you have, and please don't say, but if everybody is able to pull that kind of money out of any play, then we will own the freaking shorts the next time they try and do some shit like that. I know a lot of people are just going to take their money and go away, but some of us are going to make it our mission to fuck them over on everything.
I mean, there's always money to be made in the market. You can make money every day.
I don't make it, 100% of my portfolio is not punishing Wall Street plays. I have AMC. That's it. All the rest is just regular trading, momentum trades, 5-year holds, But man, if I made a million off of one play by screwing a hedge fund, yeah, I'd put some of that to work to screw them again if they didn't go bankrupt. Headstock Hiram says, what do y'all think Ape will do if no conversion?
I think it gets diluted because that's
Absolutely.
the only option for AMC.
Yeah. If the votes are no, then the next thing he's going to do is go to the Secretary of State of Delaware and say, I'm going to convert 30 million more. Is it 30? 300 million. 30 million. 30 more million preferred shares into 3 billion apes. And I'm going to sell those into the market. 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, pick your number.
Yep. And all he has to do is keep creating more shareholders because ape is the equivalent to one AMC. So people will buy it.
Yeah, but it sucks for us that own AMC because every ape that is sold is diluting AMC also.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't disagree.
I do not want billions of more dilution. They will be as bad as Mullen.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with that.
But until I see a proxy statement, that's just my current thoughts. I need to see exactly how the vote is worded.
That's kind of a double-edged sword too, because if Adam Aaron does get all the money, but how much is he going to get? Will he be able to pay the $5 billion? How many shares is it going to take him to get the $5 billion in debt? But once he gets the money, AMC could go because there's no debt. Without.
I've heard some people say mediocre that, and I agree with this. He doesn't need to raise $5 billion.
No, he don't.
If he could just take 2 years worth of debt off the table, and put a little money in the bank, that also will improve the fundamentals. I don't think his goal necessarily is to raise $5 billion in February of 2023. We'll know when we see what the dilution is, what the goal is, but that doesn't have to be the goal to raise $5 billion.
Yeah.
Raising anything and paying it off with a discount because of the favorable interest rate conditions right now and the fact that these lenders probably want cash more than they want a bond that's in the tank.
And the debt is negotiable. I mean, he's already negotiated how much.
That's
debt,
what I'm talking about. Right now, the bond values are down, and he can negotiate some discounts. So even if he raised $1 billion or $1.5 billion or $2 billion, and gets a 30% discount, that is not a bad thing for cleaning up the balance sheet. That kind of improvement to the fundamentals would change the fair value of AMC, even with the dilution, I think, because it makes the company seem much more safe investment, less risk of bankruptcy.
The problem is, and we talked about this at the beginning of the show, we're part to blame for selling our ape.
I didn't sell any.
I didn't either. And I'm not saying us. I'm just saying, but retail was selling ape, right? There was that whole push to sell your ape, get back in AMC, yada, yada, yada. Okay, that hurt our position, and it helped drive the price down. And it put us in a bad position. And yeah, there was manipulation going on as well, but it wasn't all manipulation, right? We had a role in that. And so, not that I'm siding with Adam Aaron, but he couldn't. How can he trust us? He has to protect the business. If he doesn't protect the business, he doesn't protect us. Number one, that's the other side. No, we don't like where we're at, but that's just the truth, I'm
going to bring up a screenshot. I always talk about this for Hector, the question that's on the screen. Hector thinks that diluting ape doesn't matter to AMC. I'm going to put this on the screen because I keep on talking about this, but not everybody believes it. Hang on one second. Diluting ape 100% dilutes your AMC shares. If you sold ape and moved to AMC thinking that you're going to avoid dilution, you have been misled by grifters. Let me get this zoomed in, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm interested because I kind of think the same way Hector does, but only because it's not directly being shorted.
What? All right,
It's not
mediocre.
shorted,
Let me
diluted.
ask you a leading question before I put the screen up.
Hmm.
By what measures do you measure dilution? What, as a shareholder, when would you consider that you're being diluted?
If you're growing the float by any number, that's
all right,
dilution.
by accounting standards or by a shareholder standard, beyond just the float growing, why does that dilute?
Well, because it creates more shares, which limits the price of all shares.
And it increases the amount of shares that are voting, so your vote is diluted by the same amount, right?
Yep.
And APE has a vote equal to AMC. So if there were 3 billion apes, you'd have 3 billion new votes that didn't exist before. So by the voting measure of dilution, you have diluted AMC shareholders.
Yeah, so APE would have control over voting rights.
Right. So by that measure of dilution,
Yeah, no,
by
you're right.
votes, you're diluting AMC. If you're only in AMC and he issues 3 billion apes, your AMC votes just got wrecked.
Yes, they did.
That is dilution. Now, the other measure that we use is the accounting measure of dilution in terms of the income statement and looking at the formula for diluted earnings per share. And I want you to notice here on the income statement, how many shares does it say were in the last quarter down here?
I can't read it from here, but
it says 1,033,000. What are the shares of AMC?
580 million.
516 at this time. 516,000. Why does it say 1 million when they calculate earnings per share? Because APE diluted the income statement. They are all added onto the income statement. See this? I talked about this back in August. Diluted earnings per share. So by the second measure that we measure dilution, the impact on the income statement, APE is right there. You see it with your eyes. Imagine if that number said 3 billion. Or
yeah, they're gonna want to short it more.
This by the way, this is 1 billion because this is in thousands. Sorry, this is 1 billion, not 1 million. 516 million plus 516 million. You got to add 3 zeros. But if there were 2 more billion APE sold because of a no vote in the next quarterly statement, this shares on the income statement is going to say 3 billion shares.
Yeah.
So
no, definitely. I see what you're saying. And your vote is wicked diluted. That could be easily taken over by somebody who doesn't have our best interest at heart.
Imagine if you were an evil hedge fund and you wanted to control the company and you just retail runs away because APE is getting beaten down and you're able to buy 1 billion shares of APE for 20 cents a piece. You will own the company.
Mm-hmm.
That is the future if there's a no vote. APE will fall right back down to 60 cents. It'll get blown out, dropped even lower because of a couple billion more shares. Somebody that we don't like is going to buy them all up for pennies on the dollar relative to AMC shares. They will own the vote. All of your AMC votes will be diluted, and you're basically fucked. But keep on talking about how you just prefer to dilute APE. I think that is a very naive, not talking to anybody in the audience, but the content creators, the content creators are pushing this narrative of just dilute APE. Very naive understanding of accounting or Wall Street.
That is a very good point, and it's making me rethink what I was thinking as well. I'll tell you that right now, because you're right. All these. I'm just going to throw an example out there. I don't want to use any names, but let's just say hedge fund A has the majority of the shorts in AMC, right? And say it's 3 billion, just for the sake of argument. I don't know what it is, but I'm just making numbers up. And he goes over and buys those ape shares, and he has control and stake. Why? Because we sold off our ape or whatever, and you're still holding your AMC. Now he has control of what to do with the company. He can vote to put it back and then dilute or whatever, and you're out your money.
Yep.
That is, I can see exactly what you're saying about voting rights. I never thought about voting rights that way. That is really, really important that you brought that up.
I've been saying it
I
for
was not thinking that at all.
I've been saying it for 4 or 5 months now, since the beginning of August, that ape dilution is diluting your AMC. That's why I was so against the people that were putting out that message in August. Sell your ape, just sell it and buy AMC. You're not avoiding anything. You're just wrecking your tax basis. Yes, I get it. You avoided the rundown in price of ape, but you also helped cause it because of fear and misunderstanding of accounting.
No, I agree with that. Retail retail is partly responsible for the price of ape. That's no doubt about that. I mean, not all of it, but we were being attacked. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, but selling ape was not helpful to the overall what we were trying to accomplish. What Adam Aaron was expecting. He wasn't expecting that either. So now he has to do something, and that's what people don't realize. He has to protect you as a shareholder and the business. And I hate to say that, but it's true.
I still hear people saying, "Why now? Why is he doing this now? We got 500,000 in the bank, 700,000 if you million. I mean, 500 million in the bank, 700 million if you count the credit facility. Why? We're fine." You might think you're fine, but a CEO and a board is not going to look at 500 million, 2 quarters of cash, and say that's going to be just good. We're good with that.
Yeah. When
you're in a cash burn scenario, no, that is red alarm. Even though we expect 2023 to be better than 2022, we're still going to lose money likely every quarter this year. They're not just going to sit there and bleed it out till we have just 100 million left. You might be willing to do that. The CEO and the board are not willing to do that. So they will raise money, whether it's with APE or AMC. It's up to us to vote to decide which one. Do you want billions more sold for 30, 40, 50, 60 cents? Or do you want 100 million sold for 20, 30, 40, 50, $60?
And I hate to say it, though, they're going to get the vote anyways. And not because Atera owns more shares than retail, but a portion of retail are going to go with that narrative anyways. So they're going to get the vote.
The vote for which one? For yes?
Yeah.
What's up, Randall?
Hey, Randall, how are you? Yeah, I believe that they get the vote, and I hate to say it like that, but it's true. I mean, I'm on that side of the train anyways.
Clark says, is it possible to have APE shares converted to AMC and no reverse split? We won't know until we see the proxy, Clark. They could do a contingency like proposal 1, proposal 2 will be voted on only if proposal 1 passes.
I think the reverse split helps a little bit. It helps him get them. I mean, he could just dilute more, right? It's the same amount of dilution either way, whatever he chooses, right? But it forces them to use 10 shares instead of 1, right? So it hurts the shorts.
And if there is a reverse split and they need to cover, and people don't panic and just like, fuck this play, I'm out. Look, if everybody sells, we're all screwed. But if you had, let's just say you had 1,000 shares and now you've got 100, ideally you would look at those 100 as more precious now, and
Exactly.
and not let them pry them out of your hands with psychology. That makes it, there's less shares available for the shorts to grab. Their financial obligation, what they got to close, has not changed,
Right.
and
Because
they're fighting for less shares.
right. Because all Adam Aaron did was take 10 of your shares and make one. You know what I mean? So you have 1 share that's equivalent to 10 shares. You know, I just don't understand why people don't think it's the same. There's no difference monetarily.
You're letting them off the hook of 90%. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Just like your basis won't change, neither will their obligation.
Exactly.
I'm more, like I said before, like just being straight up, I'm more concerned about dilution, whether it be AMC or APE, than I am about the reverse split. The reverse split's just a fugazi. It's math. It's no different. Nothing changes in a split or a reverse split except psychology.
Exactly.
But the dilution, yeah, we can't. I want to know, what is his plan? And I want to know that he's not going to wait 60 days for people to get scared out after a reverse split and the price get run down, and then he decides to skip in and start doing dilution after the prices run down. I will be fucking pissed.
I hope he comes out in you know, kind of not coddles retail, but you know, reinsures retail that, or you know, or investors, right? It doesn't have to be retail. Any investor that, you know, he's doing the right thing for shareholders, right? Because ultimately, if we don't do nothing, we're going to get hurt anyways. That's what I think people don't realize.
Andrew says APE shares were supposed to be precious too. Yeah, but instead, what do we see? We saw 3 huge YouTubers or more, Fanny Pack Boy, the Meet Kevin, Wrench Capital, all these guys come out with this very odd message that sell APE and buy AMC so you don't get diluted. Very odd message. And of course, Lou was saying the same thing. Like these people had big impact, and so it might have been supposed to be precious, but I don't think AMC anticipated the retail backlash by big voices to talk people out of that play.
That's one thing about the market. Fear drives the market. That is no doubt about it. And that's exactly what happened here. The fear, you know, got people retail to sell. That happened. You know what I mean? I know people don't want to hear it, but it is what it is. And we're in the position we're in.
What other, I mean, have you seen any other dilution event in a stock where because dilution was announced, it gets run down 90%? No, you don't, right?
I mean,
you might see a 20% drop when a dilution's announced.
Yeah.
90%, people were fucking selling.
They were.
It wasn't just shorts. People got scared out of that play.
Yes, they did.
And there was no reason for a dilution event to run a price down 90% other than people were selling. They thought they'd do the smart thing and buy AMC. Now they're all coming back. Should I sell my AMC and buy APE? I see people doing it on Twitter.
I know. I see it too. They talk about it, and I don't understand it.
You could have just stood still and, you know, get that phalanx line up, the Trojans with the spears and shields, but everybody scattered and ran.
I mean, I bought a lot more at the bottom, in even if it gets diluted, I'm going to be a little better off because even if they dilute APE, right? I bought more APE at the bottom. I'm hoping it was the bottom, but I'm pretty sure it is anyways. But, you know, I mean, that's worth, right now it's worth $5.50. You know, if it converted back into it, you know, it's going to go up to $7. So each share is worth $7 if they did it today or whatever it equals out to. I don't really know. You understand what I'm saying? So even if he dilutes it 50 cents, I still made out. So I don't know. And I mean, retail buying on APE will probably help a little, but it's not going to solve the problem now because it's already too late. You know, Adam Aaron's not going to have faith in retail to do what needs to be done now. So he's got to do what he has to do. That's the sad truth people don't want to admit either.
Aisha said, how did Ants Trade's channels grow so fast? Look, same way that Al grew his channel fast. Remember that video, his first one that said, my proof of how AMC will go to 500,000 a share. People are desperate for clickbait. And I'm not saying Ants Trade is clickbait, but he's bringing a positive message at a time, at a time when most people have stopped covering this stock. I'm not saying he's clickbait. He did some TA. He provided his opinion that the stock would run up by the end of this month. That message got shared because there's not a lot of people saying that right now. That's how his channel grew. And
the thing is and I helped him a little bit too, because I shared him, and we did a couple lives. And the only reason, I'll be honest, I like the guy.
Yeah, I do too. He seems like a reasonable guy.
Yeah, I didn't share it for hopium or any of that, right? Like, I personally don't believe in fractal theory, right?
I don't either.
But I like Ant's video. I like his technical analysis. He understands the market. He's knowledgeable, so he understands that our run is here anyways. So I don't know. We're kind of close to a run, in my opinion. And that's what I see that in my own technical analysis. So I don't know what to say to that. And I think that he's all right.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I don't know if it's going to go to 140. I'm just saying we're going to run up to the 200 on a daily. We're crushing down so much, which I explained at the beginning of this video, right? We're gonna get there. There's only the 200s coming to the stock price no matter what. If they hold it down or they let it run up. That's all I'm saying. Like, we're bullish on the 4 hour. I don't know what to tell you. Will it go to that high? I have no idea.
When I look at the short interest being, in the 20%, 22, whatever, and the average cost to borrow 250%, we're just lacking a couple things right now. Like any bit of good news and a good week or two in the market without this freaking whipsawing where some money can come back in, then you get our price start trending up, and there's not much left to borrow. They can't short it down. As it trends up, you start knocking shorts out of the play.
Exactly. And we've been doing that slowly.
It has the potential to be really interesting. I think Ants Trades, there's a chance he could be right, but I don't think it has anything to do with pre-programmed fractals planned to repeat on a certain cycle. I think just stocks have cycles. You can find a pattern in every stock. And I don't think it has anything to do with fractals, but I do believe that algorithms follow the momentum of a stock or the news in the market, news in the world, the news relative to a specific company, and many things that we follow as momentum traders, like moving averages. I mean, there's so many inputs into an algorithm, you can't even comprehend it. And once it starts moving, the algorithm's going to keep moving at that direction until Kenny gets on the phone and tells his programmers, switch that bitch around. It's going too high. We're going to get wrecked.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, it definitely, like the market, it kind of does repeat itself. It doesn't have to repeat itself exactly. And it doesn't have to be, at this time, that just because 3 years ago this happened, it's going to happen again. I don't necessarily fall into that, but the market does have patterns. That's what we look at. I mean, I look at patterns every day. I don't know. I mean, the good thing about Ant's videos, I'm pretty sure we're going to have a run up, which will help his case. But here's the other thing. If he was 100% correct, let's just say for the sake of argument.
We need a hero. We need a hero right about now.
Who's to say, like they did to the $35 run up, which I called, it's in my Discord. I have all the TA from the $35 run up. It's in there. Everybody knows me, knows that it's there. And it gets halted like last time, and then boom, right back down. Who's to say that's not going to happen? I mean, I wouldn't put anything past the manipulators in the market. That's all I'm going to say, right?
Yep.
So whether he's right or not right, who knows? We're going to have a run up, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but based on technicals, it looks that way.
I just would like to have some news to make it happen. Ideally, these runs out of nowhere on no news always bother me because I feel like they're letting it run and they know where they're going to short it back down.
I think what it is that people see is, there's a lot of technical traders out there that
Yep.
look at different time frames, right? Like somebody might be trading on the 15-minute time frame. This one's trading on the half hour. This one's trading on the 4 hour.
Look at this
whatever.
one.
So
Look at this one back in November. It stopped right at the 200.
yep, it happens all the time.
And same with this one. It didn't quite reach the 200, but when our next run starts, we've got to get over $8.
11.
Why?
We got to
I'm
break
saying
11.
I'm saying eight for the 200 moving average.
Was that the SMA?
No, it's just the 200 MA
Okay.
on the
So
daily.
okay, so that has a different price than the EMA probably.
Yes, the EMA is exponential,
Yep. I used the EMA. That's what I was trying to wonder.
and that's at 11.
It's at 1095.
Okay, well, I like my number better.
I do too. I do too.
And I have March calls with $8 strikes, so I'm biased a little bit.
See, so Tony must know something then.
Not financial advice. I'm just saying.
Tony must see something then. I don't know. I mean, charting. I love charting. Because even if you didn't do any DD on a stock and it was in a move and you can see it on the chart, right? You can still get in and get out in a momentum move like that. I wouldn't always recommend that. Although I do momentum moves on the SPY up and down, that's really what I do. There's really no DT to do on that, but it is what it is. But I don't put my money into stocks unless I have a reason to do so. I hope you're right, Andrew. I hope you're right. Andrew says, we will get some news soon. Just a hunch. Big catalyst.
We've got some good news coming in with the movies. If some of these next movies in February can be good in terms of box office leading into the early March quarterly call, that would be good. And ideally, mediocre. I'd like to have around that call an official announcement that retail popcorn has hit the stores.
I would love to hear that because, I got great people in my Discord, but some of them, they're skeptical because they're like, well, where's the popcorn plant? And so I got to go do some research and figure out who it was. Heads up to Pixie for looking that up for me earlier. But, people want to know, they want to see some sort of result. Like I'm happy popcorn's going to come out in March and I'm pretty sure it's gonna, but some news would be good on that.
I'm not as thrilled about credit cards. I think that'll be kind of a wash, but I think retail popcorn, if we can get the shelf space and they can get a wide enough distribution, I think that, like nationwide launch, I think it could do really well. It's not that expensive and the margins are pretty good.
I mean, the credit card thing, I don't know. It sounds all good, and some people like it, and some people don't. I mean, I would get one to support AMC because of the situation that we're in, but other than that, I would never really get one.
I'm just saying, I've done some digging into the credit card thing, like co-branded credit cards. I don't expect it to have any meaningful bottom line impact for AMC, other than improving their own marketing to existing customers.
Yeah, so they're not going to make much money off of it.
I do not believe so. I've seen people saying, "Oh, it's going to bring in $1 billion." I think you're smoking crack.
I've never done the research, so I can't tell you. I think the popcorn though will be, if we get in supermarkets, I'd buy it just to support AMC, even after the squeeze, because I think it's wrong what happened with the whole COVID shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so, whatever. And to drive companies into the ground solely because, that happened, I don't think it's fair. So, I don't know. I would definitely buy AMC branded popcorn over any other brand. That's just how I'm going to be.
We always have some microwave popcorn here in the pantry, so I'm hoping that it's not just like bagged popcorn that I got to worry about going stale. I think he said he's gonna do both, but I'm really hoping they have microwave popcorn.
Yeah, I prefer the microwave popcorn.
But guys, I mean, I don't know how many of you have been involved in product development. I have, not in the food industry, but it takes a while to get packaging, not only just the individual packaging, but the per unit packaging and the packaging to send it to warehouses around the country, to do the label design, to get it's a long process. It's not something that you just Thanos snap and you can start shipping popcorn in a month. Like the projects I worked on to get a product out was a 1-year process. So again, I don't know on food, but I would imagine for most big companies, it's about the same. And I doubt that AMC had a lot of expertise in-house in cranking out product to retail grocery stores. That wasn't their. It's not like they have a team of marketing people. They didn't have a team of marketing people specializing in this. They had to develop all of that. So be patient. I am confident it's coming. But
somebody had a good idea too. I seen it in chat. It was either on your show, Tony, or Casey's channel. I'm not sure whose channel it was on, but they sent a question in, asking about putting drive-throughs in AMC movie theaters, so you can order food or popcorn or whatever. And I'm like, man, that's not really a bad idea. It will cost a lot of money to revamp, but they could actually kind of do that. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. Fast food places make a lot of money, but they would have to hire more people too on top of that. And
it all depends on a lot of that depends on the location too, though.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of the theaters are in the mall or they're in the middle of a strip center. Like, you don't have a window built right up to the curb on a lot of them.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about ones like in shopping, little shopping plazas. You know what I mean? Like,
it is a good idea to consider for new builds. Absolutely.
But you can't do it in like a mall or something like that. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, that idea, I was like, well, that's not a terrible idea, to be honest. And I don't know if he's heard that one or not, but that one sparked my interest a little bit. And I don't know fast food person or anything, but
anything you can do at relative, if you're building out a new facility and you can put a window right on the curb, that is not a big expense. If you're already building the building, to plan that in, that's just incremental revenue at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so that actually interests me, because I see there's theaters kind of near me that are similar to what I'm talking about, where they could pop a drive-through in. I don't know where the kitchen is located to the side of the building, but I'm saying like you
That-
could drive around it like that.
That's got to be
So-
part of the plan, right? You got to have the kitchen with
Yeah.
access to a window on the curb.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be, and it can't impede other businesses and all that. There'd have to be a bunch of stuff to account for, and not all buildings are the same. But I heard that. I'm not sure whose channel it was on, and I'm not sure who actually put that comment in, but I did read it. It was interesting.
Spaceman says yes, and if they had kettle corn that you could get on a drive-through, I'd be down for that. I'm gonna start pushing this hashtag AMC kettle corn because I want Adam Aaron to consider it. Kettle corn.
That's not that bad.
I love kettle corn. I personally find that AMC's caramel corn is too sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think I would order it again, but if they get a right blend of salt and sugar on caramel corn, kettle corn, I would buy it.
Just Another Ape sent me a picture the other day. He went to the movies, AMC, to go get his Oreo popcorn. I wonder how that was.
How was it, Steven? Are you still in the chat?
And I'm looking to find out. I forgot to ask him.
I see a lot of people pushing the medical dispensers in the lobbies.
I don't know if that's kid friendly. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not against it, but
In the states where that's legal, can you bring kids in those stores?
absolutely not.
Well, I guess that answers that. I guess I see a couple other people like kettle corn.
In here where I'm at, you have to give an ID to go in. And a child can't give an ID, so they won't allow them in. And every person has to be documented. At least where I'm at. So that wouldn't work here.
I'd like to see some more synergistic cooperation between AMC and Disney, AMC and Paramount, any of them, but not a buyout. I'll say the same thing. You're smoking crack if you're advocating for a buyout. You haven't looked at what happens in buyout deals. All right, we got a comment on the Oreo pop. Cookie was warm and crunchy, lots of it, salty popcorn, very sweet though.
Yeah, that's what I figured it would be too. I wouldn't eat it then.
I'm so ready to be done with January so I can go try one of those shakes too. The new shakes they have.
I didn't even see them.
You have not seen the shakes?
I don't have. Okay, so I refuse to go to the movies because I do not have an AMC theater near me.
Okay.
That's kind of why I want the Regal merger to happen.
I'm going to pop up a picture for you.
I drove over an hour to go see Top Gun just because I wouldn't go to no other theater but an AMC.
Look at these shakes and tell me that, I mean, if you like ice cream and shakes, tell me this doesn't look good.
Oh, those do look good. Oh, yeah.
Birthday cake, s'mores, Oreo, extreme chocolate, and apple pie. And they come with this little extra thing on the stick, whatever it is, cupcakes, Oreo cookies.
I want apple pie.
That's the one I'm kind of leaning towards as my first try also.
I want apple pie.
You have good taste.
Let's go. Let's get it.
I did last time we went to the movies. I asked the theater if they had them, and we didn't have them yet. But hopefully, by the time I get off my carnivore diet in February, when I can treat myself to something, I want to try one of these.
Yeah. So if I want to go to AMC, I have to go to where Mass lives. It's right in Boston. I have to go to Boston, or I have to go to deep into Connecticut to go to AMC theaters.
That's a bummer. That's a long drive.
I mean, I do it. I don't care. My daughter just moved to Boston, so that AMC is going to be a new thing that way.
Greg says he does not like kettle corn. Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their different taste. Just because I like it, you don't need to like it. That's cool. Pam says those look good. I've had bad kettle corn. Like if you go to 7-Eleven and buy that kettle corn in a bag, whatever freaking brand they have, it's got that fake sugar taste too. I want the real carnival tasting kettle corn, not this fake
Hi,
ass
Pam.
shit.
How are you? Long time no see.
What about a White Russian shake?
That
There you
sounds
go.
good.
Now you're talking.
I'll take one. No problem.
I haven't tried the churros, Dark Latin, but I have had several of the burgers. I'm kind of like making my way through the menu, and the burgers are really good. Like for me, to finish a complete burger and the fries, and to get a popcorn, there's no way I can finish all that food.
Yeah, me either. Last time I got the pretzel bites with the cheese. I think that's what I got. And
The
do they
pretzel
have
bites
pizza?
are really good.
I think my wife got a pizza there. I don't remember.
I know, Greg. No hard feelings. I don't expect everybody to have my taste. Draft beer would have a higher profit margin. Most of the AMCs, at least all of the ones around me, have bars, and you can get a draft beer or mixed drink.
I really hope for the Regal deal to happen. The Cineworld thing. That would make me really happy. Either that or I'm out of this state anyways. One of the two. Florida, Tennessee, here I come. Something like that.
Zach says Zila and Wisa. What thoughts? We talked about Wisa the other night. They have a meeting on the 25th to approve a reverse split. They have last quarterly statement. They had 3 months of cash left before they go bankrupt. Although they did just complete a share offering, so they probably bought themselves 4 additional months of time. It's not a great story, Wisa. But if you want to take a chance on it, and who knows? Like I'm just telling you, the fundamentals is not a great story. If people decide to start buying it because Lou's pumping it, then sure, I've seen him cause momentum on other plays. I'm just saying, don't be greedy, because right now that stock's a hot mess. But if the chart starts moving, we love momentum plays.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he's pumping this penny stock that has 2 delisting notices, one for being under $1 and a emergency hair on fire for being delisting notice for being under 10 cents for 10 days.
I just don't pay attention to nothing, huh? Oh my God.
I only know because, I get bombarded with questions. So I spent a few minutes looking into it, but they have a shareholder meeting on the 25th. And Lou told the CEO on a phone call, I really recommend that you don't do the reverse split. I think you'll get over $1 organically. I'm like, based on what? The CEO just said, they're not really expecting to start selling new product until the end of this year. So how the fuck organically are they going to get over $1?
I don't know.
The CEO told him, he said, he basically said, we're not going to risk getting around $1, whether it's 95 cents, $1.05, $1.20. That's not enough breathing room.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're going to, the reverse split is going to pass. Zila is just a hot mess. Look at the chart. That got pumped by so many pump and dumpers. And I understand a lot of people are emotionally attached to it and bag holding, but I'm not even going to go there. All right. Mediocre, probably should wrap it up.
Sounds good.
Got 3 hours in the bag.
I appreciate everybody. Thank you for having me on, Tony. I really appreciate it. And I
Yes.
hope,
Good visiting with you in person again.
yeah, I like the chat. It was good. I hope I didn't really piss off the community. That was not my goal.
No,
Just the
no
truth
one can
is
piss them off more than
sometimes
I
hurt.
can, mediocre.
Sometimes the truth hurts, you know.
I am the most hated YouTuber in the land of stocks because I dare to talk about fundamentals and read documents. Don't tell us fundamentals, Tony. Just tell us everything's going to the moon. There's, guys, there's 50 other channels for that. But if you like knowing the entire story, that's kind of the basis of this channel. We don't use the word MOAS. We don't give you price targets. We don't give you dates. I'll tell you when I'm buying and selling something. That's not financial advice. I just think that, some people want to know, what am I doing? But
No, I agree.
I look at every play, unless it's something that is just running and I got to jump in it without any DD, like DWAC. The first day DWAC launched, I jumped into it. Well, the only thing I knew was half the country liked Trump, and this was a social media platform. I stopped my DD right there and jumped in it, and we made a shit ton of money on that play.
Nice.
But that's just one example. But most of these, if I've got half a day or overnight to look into them, I try and know the full picture. Not because I'm trying to talk anybody out of a play, but I want you to know how I'm analyzing it and how I'm kind of like mentally thinking, where might it stop? People are telling you, oh yeah, this penny stock's going to $200. And I'm thinking, I'd be happy with 5. If I got in at 20 cents and it ran to $5, that's a pretty fucking good trade in anybody's book.
Yeah, that's nice money right there.
And these people telling you $200 make you bag holders every time.
Oh yeah. And that's why I like reading my charts. You know what I mean? I don't depend on nobody but myself. I ask you, who do you depend on, Tony? Let me ask you that question.
I depend on myself and God.
There you go. Same here.
I don't depend on anybody. I look at other channels to see what clickbait shit they're talking about. So I have a good feel, if enough people are talking about it and I catch it on day one, doesn't matter how shitty the stock is. Sometimes they're worth a chance, like Helbiz.
Yeah. I'll have to consider, so I can, I'm in the market every day. Like I said, I like to trade to SPY, but if I can make more money, catching these little penny stock runners like that, if they're getting pumped, I might as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, like 80% of my portfolio is decent stocks, blue chip type stuff, Tesla's, Amazon's, Costco's, looking at adding Apple, things like that. I have Charge Point. I forget all of them, but the momentum trades is what makes showing up every day fun.
No, exactly.
I'm not YOLOing my entire portfolio in some penny stock.
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
But it makes it
That's
fun.
part of my problem. I try to stick to stuff I know. If it goes against me, I know I'll still end up getting my money back. I just have to wait. Like AMD, for example, right? Like say AMD it's at $70 and I buy in right now and it dumped off. Listen, I mean, it's AMD, you know what I mean? Just for the sake of argument, I not that happened or didn't happen, but I don't know. But I really appreciate you having me on. And
same here. I enjoyed it. You're welcome back anytime. And I always try and, I should probably start out by saying this, but I always try and end by saying it. As long as, any content creator that's not out there creating drama, personal drama, attacking people, we can disagree on ideas all day long, and I'll be your best friend. But the people that are doing personal attacks, they are the real pariah on YouTube. So I appreciate people like you, whether you and I agree on every little aspect. I actually prefer people that don't agree with me on stuff if they can talk about it like adults.
No, exactly. I don't agree with every single buddy. There's people I don't agree with, not because they're not smart. It's just I don't agree with their thesis or where it could go. But They
It's
have a right to say what they have to say.
and it's good to hear their thoughts, because then you kind of like check yourself, right?
Exactly.
It makes you reevaluate. That's how I take it. Like if someone has a completely opposite position, it makes me really think harder about, is my conviction correct? You know, do they have a point?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I appreciate all of you that keep it real and keep it adult. And for those of you that are watching, you know, as you're going through the channels, try and be good to people. If you want to question their DD, question it all day long. But be good to one another, treat each other like human beings, talk to people like you would want to be talked to. We all have the same goal, no matter what the ticker, no matter what the stock, no matter what the play, and that is to make money together and be here together as long as we can, improving each other's future. So thank you to the
Thank you, Chad.
subscribers.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you to the
Tom.
mods. And we will see you on the next one. Let's hope we have a good week this week.
Good night.
Good night. Take care, guys.